Music licensing reimagined. Long time coming, like on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying and selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Turn up the sun up from under the sun that we maxing our limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation, I'm finessing a visit.
Ooh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Vegas. Is it 112?
Yes.
112. Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval, the last card of the year. The last card for a few weeks here. So kind of bittersweet here. We get a big long break, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 weeks. But yeah, looking forward to the card. Not the best card in the world, to be honest. We got a couple good fights I'm looking forward to, but a couple fights where I'm like, come on. But yep, as always, we are here on a Monday, right on time. Uncle Weezy, what is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Vegas 112?
I'm looking forward to the end of the year, and this is the last obstacle to get past before we get to take 6 weeks off, 6 weeks off between cards. And that's the longest break that the UFC has given us in the last 5 years, Brady. So I don't know if it has something to do with the Paramount deal. Maybe they're just trying to get some things figured out before they have the first broadcast on Paramount. But yeah, it's the longest break that we've seen for a long time, and I'm planning on taking full advantage of it. It's been a rough year for me gambling-wise. My first ever full year down as a tracked better in the last 4. So I'm really looking forward to kind of getting away from it a little bit, kind of getting back to the drum board, redrawing up the way I kind of research fights and make my bets, and coming back for a stronger 2026. But we got one more card left in 2025. And it's a bit of a dumpster fire, if we're being honest. It's not good. It's an Apex card. And this is a typical Apex card with some, there's been so many of these heavyweight fights recently where you're like, why the hell did they sign both of these fighters? And why were they not on the Contender Series? And we got more of them. It's going to be a fun Stat Diggers. I'm looking forward to breaking it down with you. I'm having an adult beverage here. While we're talking fights today, we're going to talk some fights. We're going to have a couple of beers here and enjoy UFC Vegas 112 or 121 or whatever the hell it is.
112 sounds right. Yeah,
fair enough.
Oh, all right. So I did do a Who Needs to Get Help poll. And the people I put on the poll were, I believe, Grant Dawson. Who the frick did I put? I put Grant Dawson. I put I don't even know. I think I'm already checked out. I had a long weekend, though. I had a very long weekend. I had my son's second birthday on Thursday. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. We had a birthday day. And then Friday, a full day of traveling to Vegas, and then just a very long night in Vegas. We went to bed, 5 o'clock in the morning Vegas time, just the longest day ever. And then Saturday we had the fights, and then we were up 5 o'clock Vegas time, and then had to wake up at 9 the next day. And then we had a full day of traveling, multiple layovers. It was just brutal. I mean, it was so brutal. I hate traveling. It was literally 16, 17 hours of traveling, couple flights, long layovers, a long drive. I didn't get home till 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I had to wake up today at 7. And then I had to actually do stuff today. I had a birthday party to go to today. I had to take my son to his doctor's appointment. It's come on, give me a break. And then I had to research Sean Sheriff today. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? So it's been a long 5 days for me. So anyway, I don't even know what the heck I was talking about. Edson Barbosa potentially needs help. I put him there. I went back and watched the fights today. Edson Barbosa did show a lot of heart, but man, he's taken a ton of damage. I think it might be time for him to hang him up in the very near future. He's getting hurt in a lot of these fights. Edson Barbosa potentially needs help. Marvin Vettori, I think potentially needs some serious help. He doesn't want to fight in a very long time. He just looks completely washed. He looks very, very washed to me. I put like I said, I put Grant Dawson on there. Grant Dawson got knocked out early, and then I put somebody else. So go ahead and vote. Oh, I put Tracali just because like your base is BJJ. That's literally the one thing you're good at. You're good at one thing. Besides poker, you're good at one thing, Tracali, and that's BJJ. You got a black belt. You've been grappling for God knows how long, and you're not good at anything else. You're not good at wrestling. You're not good at striking. You're not good at anything else but BJJ. And what does he do? He gets submitted by Mansour Malik, and he gets submitted by Trayshawn Gore the last 2 fights. Make it make sense, Tracali. Make it make sense. But let's hit up the chat, and then we'll get into a quick recap of UFC 323. We got St. Trucks, first one in the building. Grant Dawson gets some serious Anthony Smith help. Yeah, not good, man. Elijah Wan, what is up? Hola, senors, what's good? Grant winging overhand rights and shooting takedowns from 10 feet away definitely wasn't a good look. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best look in the world. And yeah, agreed. Barbosa did show a lot of heart. Agreed. We got 710 Samurai in the building. What is up? Good to see you in here. We got Daniel Forrest as well. Brady Uncle Weezy, since our last show for 6 weeks, and Brady sing a little Celine. What? And Uncle Weezy tells a short holiday story. We'll see, man. I don't know. It's been a long couple of days. Loco was my dog lock. There's an idea that is Grant Dawson, but that isn't the guy who shows up when he's facing a knockout striker. Yeah, you got piped, man. Got piped on set. Amosov is a lock. I don't know, man. I mean, Neil Magny just keeps on doing it. It's like that meme, like you can't keep getting away with this, and Neil Magny keeps getting away with it. So we'll talk about that fight. We got Dan from Half the Battle. Smash the like button one last time for my brother Brady and my uncle Weezy. Appreciate you, Dan. Yeah, we'll be talking about the cost. Yeah, that Costa Morgan Sharier. What do you call him, the butt pirate?
No, not me. I'm saying that other people were calling him that, and I was saying, "Come on, let's cut him a break." You know, he had one bad performance. You can't just call the guy the last butt pirate. You know, but his so we're gonna call him the last pirate. You know, no butt. You know, so but yeah, that's a great fight, dude. That's a greit fight. Sharier versus Costa. That'll be a fun one. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's a good fight. I got Otterbomb. What a fun card. Super sad about Pantoja. Yeah, it did suck. Yeah. You know, seeing that. I really wanted to see the fight play out. I really wanted to see them go at it for more than 30 seconds. Does Tracali need help? Because in my eyes, for banging Dern, he's a champion already. That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very fair point. Favorite card that you've attended, Brady? I want to say it was that UFC San Antonio card where like every fight finished. Remember that one? It was in San Antonio. That was Delidze versus Kyle Dawkins with that knee. Ricardo Ramos got a finish.
Yeah.
Let me pull up that card here. Ramos. Let's see. It was the Ramos. Yeah, he beat Danny Chavez. So this was the card. Roman Delidze knocked out Kyle Dawkins with that knee. That was disgusting. Remember when Phil Haas milked Deron Wynn and knocked him out in the second round?
Yeah.
Cody Stamen knocked out poor Eddie Wineland. We had Ricardo Ramos with a spinning back elbow. We had Jeremiah Wells knock out Court McGee in a minute. We had Adrian Yanez knock out Tony Kelly. We had Gregory Rodriguez versus Julian Marquez, one of my favorite rounds ever, watching live. Rodriguez killed him in 3 minutes. We had Joaquin Buckley win by doctor stoppage against Albert Duraev. We had Kevin Holland get a Darce choke against Tim Means, and that was the Josh Emmett Cater main event. So yeah, that was probably my favorite card I've ever attended live, like every fight finished. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but every time I go to a card, it's a phenomenal card. I've never been to a bad card. Every time I go, there's finishes, there's violence. Like, you're not going to see me heading out to London. You're not going to see me heading out to France. You're not going to see me heading out to some of these, Middle Eastern cards. You're not going to see that from me. You're going to see me going to good cards. I don't know what it is. Can we get a preemptive, get some help for Kape? He ain't making the walk Saturday. Agreed. Has he pulled out yet or no?
Not officially, no, not yet. It's still on as the main event. 5-round fight. It's not going to happen, but, God bless him. Let's see if he can make it to the scales even.
I hope so. We got T Breezy. Say let's go here live for the first time. Appreciate you, T Breezy, for stopping by. We got Lazy Vet MMA in the building. Pantoja got milked. I don't know if that was a milking really at all. I mean, he got injured. It was
that
the first
jigsaw. That was horrible.
It was
You don't want to lose like that ever. There's like a million better ways to lose.
I know.
The way that Pantoja went out, man. That's just that might be a career ender. It's just a real shame, man. Well, because that's a Hall of Fame flyweight that happened to, and he's 35 now, Brady.
Yeah.
That's just such a fucking shame because he may not even be able to really rematch Van. Just because of the I don't know what the recovery time for an injury like that is going to be, but I guess we'll find out.
At least they said it was just a dislocation, so hopefully not too long. But yeah, 30. He's 35. He's a flyweight, so yeah, that really did suck. Van's young and hard. Girthy aura was too much for Pantoja's frail body. We got Iceland Farts. I made it. What's up, Iceland Farts? D Spearman in the building. That Tracali fight was so sus, man. I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, that was how does that happen? Tracali, Dawson, Vittori, Barbosa, Dawson, Tracali, Vittori. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Tracali bet on Malik by sub. I think they had a gentleman's agreement because Mansour's been cashing on these overs, and he's like, okay, they're on to me. They're watching me. Yeah. They're calling me out on it. I'm not gonna hit the over this time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the first round sub, and I think Tracali's betting on himself to get subbed as well. I mean, Trayshawn Gore, really
got a good guillotine, Brady.
Yeah, I guess he does. I mean, I guess, but
yeah,
Mansour's not really guillotining anybody.
Tracali's gonna be back, dude. He's just had a couple of tough stylistic matchups here. If we give him that Bolivian heavy bag in the next fight, I think he's going to get a win, baby. I think we can get him. We can get him one.
I don't know. Maybe he's so bad. Pantoja needs to be investigated. Come on. Dawson sold.
You can tell he faked it.
Oh, Dawson sold this loss better than the last one. At least he tried to fight a little, but was fighting poorly on purpose. He would have gotten takedowns if he wanted. Yeah, I don't know. He said in an interview that he's not even going to mess around with the striking. So when I saw him like throwing these wild overhands, I was kind of like, come on, man. But yep, got knocked out. You need help, Brady. Man, what's up, Andre Fiallo? I do need some help. I definitely need some help. I think he took the sub prop bit sus. I think he did. I mean, this is Mansour by sub 1 had been paying pretty dang good.
Probably.
Sub dudes, who would you give Talbot next? So Talbot himself wants a striker, and I think he deserves a striker. Like he had to fight Barcelos, he had to fight Cejudo, even Felipe Limo's taking him down. Let's give Talbot a striker.
Yeah, dude. Like, and you know what would be a good one? I think.
What?
Because Ayman Zahabi can't keep getting away with this shit.
Oh wow, that'd be a good one.
He can't. So like we kind of got to do a Brito versus Gomi thing. If he wants to keep fucking fighting like that, minute winning, high defense, all that, let's give him Talbot, who's going to just put him into a dick swinging contest and could actually turn an Ayman Zahabi fight into something pretty exciting. But even though the Aldo Zahabi round 3 was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a great call. I'd say Zahabi. I think Rob Font would be a fun fight.
Yeah, that would be really good. A veteran striker like Font, that would be really fun. Another durable guy, too.
I wouldn't mind seeing him beat the crap out of Kyler Phillips.
Dude, that would be funny, though. Can you imagine a guy that turns up in the pace of Talbot against a guy like Phillips who just is dead after 7.5 minutes? I'd pay to watch that because I've gotten fucked betting a couple of times on Kyler Phillips, so I'd like to see him pay. I'd like to see him get drowned like 4.5 minutes into the third round.
Right, I'd like that fight.
And I think got to carry him out of there on a stretcher, not because he's injured, but because of pure exhaustion.
Yes. Peyton Talbot versus Marlon Vera would be fun.
Oh shit! Because Vera can't be finished. Yeah, that would be
a fun fight.
And yeah, he could probably bring a fun fight out of Vera, which is something I think we kind of need to do, don't we?
Yeah,
Vera's too fucking patient.
Right. There's some good matchups they can make with a couple strikers for sure. Tracali gave his neck up on purpose for sure. That's what it looked like to me. The one thing I'll take away from this year is you cannot trust fighter IQ and easy paths to victory. Yeah, there's no such thing. You know, Melissa Mullins. What are you doing, Melissa Mullins?
Yeah.
Why are you striking with was it Daria Zelenikova?
Yeah.
Why?
She already knew. They had already fought once. She already got tagged on the feet for the entire first round. And yeah, that was unbelievable. That was so painful to watch.
Ryan Loder wants to test out his newfound striking.
He was saying he was going to set Qatar on fire with his striking. Now, he never said that, but it would have been sweet if he did, man.
Somebody goes to Bangkok one time, Thailand one time, and they think they're a striker. It's crazy. Happens all the time. Go to Thailand one time, you're a striker now. We got Nathan Robinson checking in from X. This card is stacked with poop emojis. Tell me about being in the building for Iwo versus Ebo. How was that? I mean, it was the best feeling ever. Like, we were all like, oh, like we thought there was like 6 different times it should have been finished. It was just ridiculous. Cashed the under 1.5. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Pantoja wins the rematch. We'll see. You know, looks like they're going to hopefully rematch it in the near future, but all depends how long this recovery is going to take. I would inject Evo fight into my veins if I could. Yeah, I recommended that they let him fight again later down the card. Why not bring him back? Let him fight again 2 times in one night. That was awesome.
I've been going nuts when they were walking back out.
I know. Let's let him fight this week. I mean, gosh, that
was one of the rounds of the year. That and Duncan McKinney. I mean, that just had to be absolutely phenomenal to be in the building for those 2 fights.
Yeah, I love when fighters give it their all. You know, that's the best feeling in the world. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would. Absolutely. It's a pretty terrible matchup for Phillips. Who sold your fantasy team this week? So I get a first round buy in 2 out of my 3 leagues this year, so that's good. And then who sold my fantasy team this week? I guess just Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's sold it the last 5 weeks. I think Jefferson has like less than 20 yards in the last 2 weeks. It's like, what are you doing, Justin? What are you doing, Justin Jefferson? Jamar Chase also sold as well. I think he did pretty bad. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. You get a first round buy in 2 out of the 3 leagues. I think it's pretty good. Let's see. Kind of did hit because Jan was a push. Evo versus Aslan was just as good as Pat Barry and Czech Congo.
Yeah.
I mean, I love when they just stand there and swing dicks, man. Weird fact, I'm about to get Morales' purple shorts from the Burns fight and his gloves from the Brady fight. Fight worn memorial fans stand up. How'd you do that? You got them on that UFC shop or UFC collectible. They have a UFC collectible store, and I was looking at some Irina Alexeyeva game worn fight jersey, 1 of 1, and it was like $60. It's one. Yeah, I think you can. I think the actual fight jersey is more expensive than the Irina Alexeyeva 1 of 1 fight game worn. Oh,
Brady and I are going to be in a bidding war for that.
They don't have any Liang. Somebody bought the Liang Na. They had a Liang Na fight jersey, but somebody actually bought it.
Oh, that's badass. I think that was me, actually, or maybe it was my girlfriend buying it for me for Christmas. I don't know. We'll find out.
Unbelievable. All right. So we'll do a quick recap of UFC 323, and then we'll see who needs help. So let me pull up the card here. I'll go through it fight by fight. So the first action I had was Mansur Abdulmalik. I had the KO in under 1.5 rounds. And of course, like we talked about, he submitted him. I can't say I was expecting that. Am I shocked? No, I'm not shocked, but can't say I was really expecting him to submit Tracali. So started the night down, kind of annoying there. But yeah, Mansur gets it done as he should. He was like minus 1,500. Then I had the Barninski Aslan under 1.5 rounds for 2 units. Got some nice CLV. I think I got like minus 129 at close, like minus 170. Should have probably been a bigger bet, but I did have a little bit concerns because Aslan did do absolutely nothing his last fight, and Barninski's kind of making his debut. And sometimes we see these guys make their debut, be a little bit more hesitant. But I mean, that couldn't have been the case at all. I mean, these guys went out there, they absolutely swung dicks, and I kind of thought that would happen. Like Aslan, he did nothing in his last fight. I kind of thought he would kind of turn it on and make up for it this fight, and and he did. So that was pretty much a sweat-free under 1.5. That fight lasted 1 minute and 29 seconds. It felt like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they both hurt each other several times. They were both out on their feet several times. I mean, like you said, one of the best rounds ever seen in my entire life, and to be there live was absolutely electric. On the early prelims too, like nobody was there. Like there were rarely people in the building. Imagine that. I was telling my brother, imagine that fight on the main card with the full crowd. I mean the building might have fell down with how crazy it would have been. So that was good. I think one of my best bets of the night, I had Jalen Turner Barbosa under 1.5 rounds for 1.25 units. And then I had Jalen Turner to win in rounds 1 or rounds 2 for 1.75 units. So 3 units total. I needed some Jalen Turner. It probably should have been a max bet, but there was, that one question mark with, Turner, his mentality. He just retired. But yeah, everything that kind of happened, I expected to happen. Barbosa's been hurt in his last several fights, getting hurt by Jakar Close, getting hurt by Lerone Murphy. And I think Jalen Turner is one of the most dangerous strikers in the division. And he landed a nasty elbow early in the round against Barbosa that I didn't see live. Went back and watched it today. Cut Barbosa open really bad. Then he dropped him with a nice combo, got on top. And then Barbosa got up, and you could tell he was just done. He was kind of hobbling away. And Turner stayed patient. He put it on him. And Herbie finally stopped the fight. It's kind of hard to watch. It's kind of sad to watch. But Jalen Turner got it done. Welcome back, Jalen Turner. Hopefully he stays around, because anytime this guy fights, as long as nobody's taking him down, it's always he always brings some violence. Lost 0.75 units. I took some long shot props on the Ferreira Vettori fight. I took some fight ends by sub and Vettori sub 2-3. I thought the game plan would be for Vettori to wrestle, and he kind of talked about in his interview. And he tried to wrestle a little bit, but wasn't able to have success. He was 1 for 4 on takedowns. Vettori is extremely, extremely shot. But luckily, I only had like a 0.75 units on that fight. Lost the unit on Barber Silva. Fight doesn't go to decision. Another narrative-based bet for me. I bet this before the weigh-ins. Barber looked really good at the weigh-ins. And I was listening to an interview with Barber, how she was talking about how she's like really pissed off and she's being mean to everybody and she wants to take it out on Silva, and kind of fell into that. The fight, there were some opportunities. Barber did land some nice ground and pound. Silva was doing her thing going for subs, but that was an L. My biggest bet of the night was the Duncan McKinney under 1.5 rounds, 4.5 units, minus 225. Got a lot of CLV for this one, which was weird because I don't know if you noticed, but in a lot of these McKinney fights, the under 1.5 kind of hovers around the minus 200 to minus 250 range, like every single time, no matter who he fights. And typically, like, there's a lot of people making cases for McKinney overs on McKinney Fight Week. And this week, it's like nobody's making a case for the over. I'm like, oh no, I don't hear anybody making a case for the over. But I did hear one case for the over, but typically it's a lot more. Oh, this is McKinney's first decision. Oh, he's going to take his time. And no, I mean, the fight played out how do you expect? McKinney came forward. They swung dicks a little bit. And then Duncan landed a nice elbow, and the fight was pretty much over then. Ended up subbing him. And it's annoying. I was looking at the fight ends by sub. It opened up at like plus 275. The fight ends by sub. Didn't hop on. It closed at like plus 150. But yeah, that was huge. You needed the under 1.5 there. So this saved me. So this fight was the matter of a winning night or a losing night. This bet right here, I had Grant Dawson minus 7.5 point spread, pretty big. But I had a hedge bet on Manuel Torres to win and under a half of a round at plus 850 for a half unit. So I lost the Grant Dawson minus 7.5 point spread, but I hit the Manuel Torres to win and under a half a round. 15 of Torres's 17 wins came under a half a round, and Torres won that fight with 5 seconds to spare. So between 5 seconds was a winning night and a losing night, because that was a massive hit. It was plus 850. It was like a half a unit to win 4.25 units. Completely saved my night and ended up being a pretty good card thanks to Manuel Torres finishing it just in time. It would have really hurt if it went over that half a round mark, but luckily Dawson covered up and the fight was over shortly after. But yeah, I did like Dawson there quite a bit, but I saw that plus 850 and I thought it was a phenomenal hedge. I thought if Torres was winning, that's exactly how he'd win. Lost a unit on Blachowicz inside the distance. Kind of thought he would grapple more. He did have a moment towards the end of the fight, but The fight ends up being a draw. I had Peyton Talbot to win an over 1.5 round same game parlay at like minus 138-ish for 1.5 units, and then also a half unit on Talbot KO 2-3. Liked that bet quite a bit. He did have some opportunities, but Henry showed a lot of heart and some durability. And then lastly, I had the Van Pantoja fight doesn't go to decision. It was like minus 140 for 1.5 units. Probably should have been a bigger bet. And then I had Pantoja to win by sub, which obviously didn't hit. The fight ended in less than 30 seconds. Up about 3 units for the night. None of my long shot props really hit outside of the Torres one. But yeah, that Torres fight completely saved my night with him finishing Dawson less than a half a round, just barely. I think that's now 16 wins for Torres under a half a round, which is just ridiculous. So yeah, great card. Everything was awesome. I thought the prelims were freaking phenomenal. Loved the prelims. They were awesome. Main card was that Talbot fight was awesome. Weird co-main and main, I thought, but the main event was awesome. And it's annoying. Like, I didn't have any action on the Jan Merab fight, but the fight played out exactly how I thought the first fight would play out. It's like, what the heck, man? One fight too late. Like, I thought in the first fight, Jan would stuff the takedowns and he would box up Merab on the feet. And he got 50-45. So didn't touch the main event though. But yeah, Weezy, you want to recap UFC 323?
Yeah, it was the worst gambling night of my career. I was down 11.5 units. I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat. I did not cash any of the bets. I had one bet that pushed. It was the Jan Blachowicz money line. He won rounds 1 and 3, but he got 10-8'd in round 2, so that was a pretty clean draw. He fought like a dumb. He might be completely just shot because like he didn't shoot a takedown, and that's retarded. Against, I mean, how does Bogdan Guskov keep getting away with people not grappling him? People just willingly standing in front of him. And my read is that I thought he would even win the minutes at distance striking range. So I was totally happy to bet on him at minus 130. Or I got him at minus 125. But yeah, he wound up getting dropped, and then he couldn't get out from underneath him because Guskov's got really good ground and pound. The other money line bets that I lost, I had a small 1-unit bet on Naimov. I liked the price at plus 215. Santos is a guy who fights on pretty thin margins. And through 2 rounds, I think Santos had landed like 25 significant strikes. I'm like, oh, well, this is a pretty typical, Myron Santos fight. It's nothing's really happening, and he's not really doing much. And then I walked away for a second, and the fight was over. Grant Dawson, 3-unit money line bet at minus 218, closed at minus 300. He looked the worst. He looked career worst in that fight. I don't know what happened there. It was like he'd never shot a takedown in his life. He was from 20 feet away trying to shoot out. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Grant? He's never looked this bad. And then Brandon Moreno, very close first round. I don't know who won the first round there, but he got put in a really bad spot. And Tyra, man, when Tyra gets into dominant positions, he's just incredible. And even though that was just like a laughably bad stoppage by Mark Smith, I mean, total incompetence for that stoppage, you can't take anything away from Tyra. Tyra was kicking his ass. He had him in a couple of really bad spots. But to stop a Brandon Moreno fight, I mean, how stupid is that? Seriously, one of the most durable guys in the history of the organization, literally never been finished. He's a champion. He's fought nothing but championship level fighters his entire career. And you're going to fucking stop that fight because he's moving too. It was kind of crazy. But, Tyra put him in a super bad spot and was landing some really nice ground and pound. I had a money line parlay with Peyton Talbot and Alexander Pantoja, obviously that didn't hit. 1 unit on the Barber Silva fight doesn't go to decision, plus 170. Thought it was a good bet. I'd make it again. They both had chances to finish. They just didn't get there. I had Fares Ziam to win by decision for 1 unit at plus 132. Sadikov is a guy that I thought would never be finished, just like I thought Brandon Moreno would never be finished, just like I thought Alexander Pantoja would never be finished, and he got finished. But it was 2 clean elbows right to the back of the head. So, of course, he went down. And then Herzog lets him take beating until the end of the round and then stops the fight 3 seconds after the round is over.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It was just funny because when I saw that, it brought me back to the Yan Xiaonan fight where Yan Xiaonan gets up
Yeah.
and she's wobbling. She's wobbling back to her corner. Really, Herzog? Really?
Yeah.
Same thing. And he helps her to the stool. Why didn't he help Sadikov to the stool, Herzog? But yeah, wild
he woke her up. He woke her up after the submission too, because there was the round where she had almost been knocked out at the end of the round, and there was the one where she literally had to be woken up.
Wild. He's stopping fights now. He's they're onto him. So
that Ziam by decision bet was looking so good, dude.
Looking perfect, yeah.
With like 10 seconds left in the round, I started walking into my office to go type to the Discord to my guys, like, oh, this Ziam by decision bet's looking great. And then as I'm walking away, I hear, oh, and I'm like, oh no, what happened? And it's over,
Wait, how are fights getting stopped after the bell now when I'm losing violence bets that get stopped before the bell?
I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. We're making up the rules as we go along, man. I mean, like even Herzog's back in the cage. It just goes to show you, like the level of professionalism that they're expecting from their referees. So, I had a small half unit bet on Naimov to win by decision. I had a small quarter unit bet on Sadikov to win by sub and Blachowicz to win by sub. Blachowicz for some reason didn't grapple. I had a 1 unit bet on Pantoja to win by submission. Just nothing hit. And then obviously, like I took like a 2.5 unit hit on Pantoja, a 4 unit hit on Grant Dawson between that and a parlay. So yeah, it was a brutal night. Nothing went right. But it's the end of the year, man. We're gonna start up again fresh in 2026. I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully we can find a couple of good spots here to cash on, go into the break with a win here.
It all starts with 5 units on Steven Asplund.
Oh boy, that's a greasy ass fight.
Oh god. Oh my god. Yep. We'll talk about it. I cashed my $100 Pantoja sub during the Yan fight. Got lucky. Oh, you cashed out your Pantoja sub.
Nice.
There you go.
Good call.
I'm 100% sure Mansour Abdul bets real money on his fights. There is no way every single fight ends in a manner that cashes a big prop in a very weird way. It's getting weird, man. I'm telling you guys, Grant Dawson threw that fight. Second time he's done it. I don't know, man. It wasn't the best look. 2 judges had round 1 for Tayaro. That was a really tough round to score. The Herzog stoppage was even worse. Can we talk about the Herzog situation if you haven't already? You're talking about the stoppage for the Sadikov-Ziam fight? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I thought the Moreno was an early stoppage as well, but looking back at it, I kind of understood it. Nicholas Mota finished Sadikov pretty much. Ref should have stopped it multiple times. Herzog had some dough on Jan Guskov to go the distance for sure. Oh, was Herzog ref in the fight? I was really, really drunk by then. So I think he was.
Yeah, because Guskov was landing some nice ground and pound in the second. I don't think he was like. I don't think the fight should have been stopped, but he definitely had him in some bad spots in the second. And even Jan almost got him. Was close to kind of getting him out of there in the third.
Yeah. Move fighter move. Yeah. Same here. Brady helps Yan Xiaonan, but stops the fight after the bell. Make it make sense. Yeah, you got to stop walking away from fights.
Dude, I walked away when I had Grant Dawson round 3 when he knocked out Leo Santos. So, like, I walked away during that one with 5 seconds left going, fuck, I thought I was going to get that. And then I heard so I cashed.
Jeez.
That was a long time ago, though. So maybe I will stop walking away until 0 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, Guskov was landing some nasty GMP. Jan's tough, man. Even at 70 years old, he's a tough dude.
He's a tough dude.
All right, guys, let's see who needs to get some help. Oh, wow. The results are pretty unanimous. In 4th place, Edson Barbosa, 4%. In 3rd place, Marvin Vittori, 23%. In 2nd place, Antonio Tracali, 29%. And in 1st place, none other than Grant Dawson at 44%. Grant Dawson, get some help. Get some help, Grant Dawson. Manuel Torres, though, man. I mean, I'm kind of happy about Manuel Torres. Is he a top 15 fighter yet, or getting there?
Well,
'Cause
Dawson had a ranking. Dawson, I believe, was
Yeah.
ranked 13th or something
Oh,
like that. So
wow.
he's going to take Dawson's ranking now.
Nice. I'm a big Loco Torres fan. How can you not be? This guy is so loco. But man,
6 fights, 6 finishes, first round, all first round. So like, you've never seen a second round in the UFC. Such a killer be killed fighter. You gotta love watching that dude.
absolutely. I mean, Pantoja didn't get milked. I mean, he hurt his arm. I mean, that's. I think you need to kind of, understand what milking means. But it's just not a milking. I mean, if anything, you could, I guess, call it a piping. But even then, it's just like just an injury, a freak thing. But yeah, let's talk about that. So last week we hit the parlay. It was kind of sweat free. My leg was Peyton Talbot, check. Your leg was the Ewo under 1.5 rounds, check. Parlay comes through. The milking, oh God, the milking.
Damn it.
But to be fair, like the next option probably would have been Pantoja.
Yeah, we liked Pantoja too. Those are my 2 favorite picks of the week were Pantoja and Dawson.
Or even Marab for a potential milking.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, what big up Peter Yan. What a performance by him.
yeah, not a good week for the milkers. Not a good week for the milkers. But yeah, Torres piped Grant Dawson on site. But the on-site piping of the week, and this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
For an on-site piping, it's right here. It's the on-site piping of the week. Jalen Turner to pipe Edson Barbosa on site this Saturday. He piped him, and he piped him on site there. All right, let's get into UFC Vegas 112. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will be back in 6 weeks for the next Stat Diggers. Crazy. But all right, let's start with the first fight of the night. Oh, God. We got Jamie Lynn Horth going against Teresa Bleda. We got Jamie Lynn Horth, 35 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. Teresa Bleda, 24 years old, 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. We got Bleda, 11 years younger. Bleda with a 2-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Jamie Lynn Horth is 3-2 in her last 5 fights. A decision win against Haley Cohen, a decision loss against Veronica Hardy, a decision win against Ivana Petrovic, a decision loss against Miranda Maverick, and then a decision win against Vanessa Demopoulos. As far as Teresa Bleda, she is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. Made her debut against Natalia Silva, lost that fight by knockout, and then she beat Gabriela Fernandez by decision her last time out. God, Bleda hasn't fought in 2.5 years.
Yep.
What's going on? Take it away, Weezy.
Yeah, I'll take it right off the card if you don't mind. And it's probably a really good chance that this fight doesn't happen because Teresa Bleda, she's not there, you guys. She's 24 years old. She's 5'9" and trying to make 125. Now, she was killing herself when she was 19, 20, 21 to make weight. And like barely fucking making it. I think she cut her hair before one of her fights in order to make weight, right? But she refuses to move up to 135. And until she does, she's probably never going to fight. She cannot stay healthy. She never eats. So because of that, she's constantly ready to get hurt in training. She's torn up her knee before. There's rumors right now that she's already torn her knee before this fight. And that she's literally just taking the fight because she hasn't fought in 30 months. 30 months. So she's in the wrong weight class. She can't stay healthy. And she's got a pure grappling style. So she's going to have to push a pace in order to fight her fight here. Jamie Lynn Horth is a pretty big flyweight. She's not as big as Bleda, though. I mean, like, go and watch the Horth versus Maverick fight. And look at how much taller and how much bigger Horth is than Maverick. Teresa Bleda is listed as 2 inches taller than Jamie Lynn Horth. So I think with the way I see it, like the reasons to bet on Horth, she's got more UFC experience than Teresa. She's been the more active fighter as of late, having fought 5 times since the beginning of 2023, compared to only once for Teresa Bleda. And Teresa Bleda is on a 2.5-year layoff coming into this fight. She pulled out of scheduled bouts against Casey O'Neill in August of 2024 and that she was supposed to fight Horth earlier this year in June of 2025. She had to pull out of both of those fights with injuries, and she's had serious knee reconstruction in the past, and she's rumored to have re-injured her knee in training for this fight. But Teresa Bleda is 11 and a half years younger than Jamie. She's the bigger fighter. She's 2 inches taller. She's got a 4-inch reach advantage. She's got a really suffocating grappling game. And we've seen Horth kind of lose minutes to Miranda Maverick when she was able to get some takedowns. And the reason she lost that 29-28 was because she wasn't able to get up from bottom position in the first and third rounds. So I think Bleda's got a path to victory here if she can wrestle hard for 3 full rounds. But her being able to do that right now, I think, is seriously in question with this 2.5-year layoff, with the injury problems. And she's not making weight either, I promise you. Like, if I could bet that, I'd love to bet that, because I don't think she's going to make 126. I'll bet she misses by a good margin here. So, yeah, this is I don't know. I don't think this fight's going to happen. And I think if it does, it's going to be a grind, and it's going to be pretty boring, because Bleda doesn't have any plan B other than to just sniff crotch and look for takedowns.
Yeah, somebody tagged us on Twitter about the line movement, and said something about a potential knee injury. Horth opened up plus 300. Plus 300. She's currently plus 119. Bleda opened up minus 400. She's currently minus 139. I mean, that's like a massive move. Like that's a ridiculous move, actually. Like, you don't see line moves like that.
But that was just like a bad opener, like that. I think people think Bleda's a really good prospect, but she's not it, because she needs to move up to 135. Once she moves up to 135, she can be a good fighter, and she's only 24 years old. She turned pro at the age of 18. So she's definitely got a lot of growing to do, a lot of improving to do. She's already a big-time grappling threat, but she'll be big at 135. So I don't know why she's just not moving up. She's going to kill herself trying to make 125, and she's going to continue to get injured if she's starving herself and trying to, dehydrate herself that badly.
Yeah, this is a fight I won't be touching. So Bleda winning, Horth sucks. I think, Horth is extremely mid, like not really good at anything. But, I mean, you can't ignore the fact that Bleda hasn't fought in 2.5 years. And it's coming off of some pretty serious injuries as well. So, I won't be touching this one. Good luck to everybody that does. I'm not letting my 6-week break get ruined betting on a fight like this. If I bet on this fight and I lost money, got to think about the next 6 weeks. Absolutely not. And I do got to bring this up. I'm not going to let this go unseen. I mean, is Bleda even taking this serious? Look at her. Look at those shoes. Look at that. She is doing squats in furry.
Dude, look at her legs. Look at her fucking legs.
They're tiny.
They're disgusting.
Oh my gosh. No, look at those shoes.
Cheeseburger and move up to 135, Teresa.
You shouldn't be doing. No wonder she's getting injured. I mean, you shouldn't be doing.
Look at her. Then what is she fucking doing?
No wonder she's getting injured with shoes like that in the gym. I'm surprised she's not getting yelled at.
Wow.
Look at this. What are you doing? Why are you working out in these shoes? Is she gonna fight in these shoes on Saturday? If I see her walk out in these shoes, I might have to take a shot on Horth.
Oh my god!
Wow. Oh my god!
She's a spring bean.
What is that? I don't even know what workout that is. What is that helping?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
She's using the resistance bands she's not doing anything. She's just jumping. Yeah. I mean, I can understand if you're a basketball player. I mean, that would be good for like maybe basketball.
Dude, there would be so Terrence McKinney if she blew out her knee doing that.
Yeah, especially with shoes like that.
Yeah, maybe that's why she got hurt.
Now, what is this? Some push-up, potentially. Wipe that smile off your face and take off those shoes. How is she doing push-ups with those shoes? I mean, you'd be slipping around. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Okay, this is.
I think it's Horth.
This is good. Some pull-ups with a weight. That's good. Wiggling the feet.
Her legs weigh 3 pounds a piece, so I don't know how big of a deal it is that she can do a pull-up.
Yeah. After seeing footage like this, I think I'm not touching this fight.
Yeah, like she's got an ass like a breadboard. You know,
Oh,
she's so skinny, you know, like she's got to move up in weight, dude. I'm telling you, she's going to probably, and she's probably even here, she's probably 135, 140. I mean, look at her. She's 5'9", dude. She's huge.
yeah.
I just think she's in the wrong weight class.
You wouldn't see me wearing shoes like that.
I mean, maybe around the house, when
Maybe.
nobody's watching.
Even then. It's like, God. I don't know. Did you guys mention Fry versus Pat?
That's
Not
next.
yet. And I'm dreading it.
Yeah.
Absolutely dreading it. Brady, every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how you know I go on. The line moved against Duncan too. Brady doesn't always mean much. Yeah, if anything, it's a good thing for Bleda, to be honest. The reverse CLV is always good. But yeah, I'm not betting either fighter. I'm not betting Horth. I think she kind of stinks. And then I'm not betting Bleda when she's doing a workout in fuzzy slippers. I mean, how can I take you serious if you're wearing fuzzy slippers? I can't. Let's go Horth. I'm on Bleda minus 131. I think she's a clear size and path advantage. Yeah, imagine the stench working out on the hard workout on those. I don't know. What was she trying to do there? Just drop the weight immediately and trying to rep the weight. I don't know what's going on. Oh, disgusting. I'm okay with the shoes. After Morales KO'd Brady while rocking a miniskirt. That's fair, I guess. Oh, I've seen enough Horth max bet. Dude, if I bet on this fight, somebody needs to show up my house and put me in a straight jacket. She's probably into, I guess that's a thing nowadays. 2025, people are into dressing up and stuff. I'd be shocked if she was even on. How can we even see her feet with shoes like that? They're covering up the feet. What if on her wiki feet was those claws? Let's see. I bet she's not even on wiki feet. Oh no, there's an Erica Bleda. Let's take a look at Erica. Oh wow, very nice. But there's no Teresa Bleda. No Teresa Bleda, unfortunately. And because how could you see her feet?
Yeah, she hasn't fought in 2.5 years. I mean, how old is Wiki feet?
Yeah, probably not 2.5 years. I don't know.
Yeah, so there you go.
Bleda needs some help. Why is she wearing furry slippers? I don't know. I just furry slippers head kick. Oh, I'll still hit. I don't know. No wiki feet score, no bet. I mean, let's see if Horth has a wiki feet.
We gotta hope.
There's a Mary Jane whore. Let's take a look at Mary Jane. Oh wow. There you go. Oh, okay. No, none of them have a wiki feed score.
All right. Well, that leaves us with less information to gamble on.
Can you openly admit you have a foot fetish, Brady? I do not. I do not. All right, let's get this off. I can't believe that. God help anybody betting on this one. God help you guys. God. All right, moving on to the next fight. We got Alan Fry going against Gaharme Pat. We got Fry, 27 years old, 6'4". Pat, 31 years old, 6'5", 80.5-inch reach. We got Fry, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, all by knockout. Pat is 5-0 in his last 5 fights, 4 out of his 5 coming by knockout. I did not get the opportunity to look into this one, unfortunately, but to me, it looks like another Dana White's Contender Series matchup that did not make the cut. And the last fight, that was a DWCS heavyweight matchup, took several years off my life in Denzel Freeman. So kind of dreading looking into this one. What can you tell me about Alan Fry versus Gaharme Pat?
Absolutely nothing. I mean, and I have researched the fight. And I can tell you absolutely nothing because Alan Fry has 6 professional fights. One of them has been filmed, and it was on a phone.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it was against Justin Frazier. And Justin Frazier was in the Ultimate Fighter house like many years ago, a long time ago in a heavyweight season. And he's actually like a decent pro. But if you look at his Tapology, Justin Frazier, so if you go to like Alan Fry and then you click on Justin Frazier's name, he got a win over Frazier, who was 12-3 going into that fight. But Frazier's last fight before that was in 2019. So it looked like Fry's best win is over a legitimate fighter, but he also, this guy, he wound up actually being in the Ultimate Fighter finale the season that Juan Espino won back in 2018. So he got wins in the house over a guy named Anderson Silva, not a bad Anderson Silva, and Michel Batista, who's actually a pretty good wrestler in his own right. But then he lost to Espino. And then he got fights outside the UFC. In 2019, he fought twice, but then he hasn't fought since then. So I don't know what that win for Fry means over Frazier. And Frazier was getting him down and was taking him down and kind of controlling him. But Fry kept getting back to his feet. He showed decent conditioning and wound up hurting him on and knocking him out in the first round. This guy is 6-0. And he's 6-0 to the knockout. So he knocks people out, but there's no film of any of the other fights. And you get about 2 minutes and 54 seconds of film in the Frazier fight. And it's like I said, it's shot on a phone. And then with Guilherme Pat, the available tape on him is he fought Mauricio Quiros in LFA. That fight went into the third round. He showed some pretty good anti-grappling and some solid striking there. And then he fought this morbidly obese 5'5" guy, and I'm not joking. Like this guy that, like if I were him, I would never even take my shirt off. And this guy was, I mean, like I promise you, Brady, you gotta watch the Luis Oliveira fight. The guy's 4-8. He's morbidly obese and has nothing. And then 2 minutes into the second round of this fight, where literally nothing is happening. Like Pat isn't even really beating this obese midget.
Is it this guy?
That guy. And if you were to watch the film on it, I promise you, you're going to laugh. Well, 2 minutes into the second round, like all of a sudden, the ref just kind of steps in and waves it off. And because, they're speaking Portuguese, I don't even know why. But the fight just stopped. It certainly wasn't because Pat was kicking his ass. He wasn't doing shit. This guy's not good, Brady. He's like tall, and like if you were to see a picture of him, you'd be like, "Oh wow, he's 6'5". He's got like an 80-inch reach. He's got a six-pack. He's built really impressively, but he goes in there and he does nothing. He does nothing. Like even when he hurts his opponents, he doesn't follow up. So he's kind of clean, very technical, like space. But I don't think Fry's going to give him a bunch of space. But I mean, like I have no fucking clue who's going to win this fight. There's not much tape on either of them. And like the only tape that I really saw on Guilherme Pat was a lot of him kind of like anti-grappling or fighting an obese midget. So I don't know, man. Like I don't know how either of these guys got a contract. How the fuck these guys are skipping the Contender Series while there's guys like Reyes Cortez, who isn't in the UFC because he lost to Peyton Talbot and Christian Rodriguez. And then there's guys like Guilherme Pat, who have never beaten anybody of any note, and they're getting fucking UFC contracts. Merrick Bulow had less than 10 minutes of professional cage time, and they gave this dude a contract. And he was supposed to fight another Brazilian bum who was fighting in malls. This guy, Jose Luis. This guy has a contract too. So this is like a dumpster that's on fire, that's rolling downhill during a riot. It's bad. It's bad. And you know what's kind of funny? If you look at the lines for this fight, I laughed out loud. And I'm not betting this, but the under 1.5 rounds is minus 195 for this fight. And I've never seen Guilherme Pat show a lick of aggression in any of his fights. So I don't know how this fight's going to end under 1.5 rounds. Maybe it'll have something to do with Alan Fry, but there's really no tape on Alan Fry. So this is a mess.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Pretty disgusting. 2 1-800-GAMBLER fights in a row for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I would bet the over if I was interested in betting this fight, because I don't know much about Fry, but what I do know about Pat is he's extremely low volume, and he likes a very low volume distance kickboxing match where he can use his long range weapons at 6'5", 80.5-inch reach. But like, this guy fights at a bureaucratic pace.
Oh God, disgusting, man. What are they doing? But yeah, Pat opened up plus 210, and now minus 170. Maybe they let like a new intern do lines, because these are some big movements so far.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like the intern definitely set the line that where Merrick Bulow opened up as a favorite versus a human being with a pulse.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Fry opened up minus 250, currently opened up minus 250, currently plus 145. And yeah, the under is very juiced. Yeah, I'd be shocked if I bet on this one, but yeah, hopefully can find some footage, whether it's phone footage or not. 1-800-GAMBLER. Yeah. I think I still have a banner. There it is.
There we go. Yes.
1-800-GAMBLER. Fight of the week. Jeez. What? You might be related to Vern. I don't know.
Like, if you look at their bodies, they're not related, because Virna Jandiroba's fit. This dude, I'm telling you, Brady, you got to like just off screen while I'm talking next time, go to the tape index, go click on Guilherme Pat and bring up this fight. And when you see this dude, you're going to be like, who the fuck sanctioned this? This guy's got 4 wins, by the way.
Well, yeah, he does.
I mean, like, whoever those 4 people were that lost to this guy, I mean,
this guy lost to him.
Ronaldo, who?
Rodolfo dos
Santos. He's 2-2.
Yeah,
he's got some exclamation points where he's fighting non-competitive opponents.
Oh, he did beat Thiago Frazen,
who's got 5 wins.
Yeah,
and a neck tattoo.
Yeah, very nice.
It's not bad.
Oh, he beat Alex Janius.
16-39.
The Marmaduke. Oh God, let's get off of that. Yeah, 1-800-GAMBLER. We got Nathan Robertson. I'm picking Pat based on the fact that his footwork and movement for a heavyweight is good. That's the only user quality trait I've picked up for either guy. So give me him in the overs. You're getting a good price on the overs there.
Yeah.
Pat Barnett versus Luis Oliveira win. Unfortunately,
sweet.
Barnett got caught, but he did just get a win in karate combat, believe it or not.
Yeah, and that this would be the first ever fight where Fat Barnett would be the taller fighter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching that the Pat versus Oliveira fight now. He looks like Chris Barnett a little bit.
Yeah, just shorter and fatter. Yeah.
He's shorter than Barnett?
Yeah, dude.
What was he? 5'8"?
Dude, look at that guy. He's built like a bowling ball.
That's crazy because Barnett's like 5'9".
Yeah, I know. I think this guy's 5'7" or something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this fight sucks.
Oh, it's terrible. And nothing happens. And then it just ends because I guess Oliveira quits.
Yeah, nothing's happening at all.
Yeah. He was afraid of him.
Did he get warned for like not fighting and then?
Dude, the under 1.5 rounds for a Guilherme Pat fight right now is minus 190.
Disgusting.
The Baraneski Aslan fight was minus 185, and those guys are animals.
I know. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Brady and Weezy, I'd be willing to bet you guys $20 Luis Oliveira owns a pug or a French bulldog that looks almost identical to him. I could see that.
Yeah, probably, man. That dog would probably get eaten, though.
Somebody please sponsor. Yeah, we're gonna look for some sponsors over the next 6 weeks. Hopefully, when we come back in 6 weeks, we'll have a sponsor for us there. Fighting at the mall or fighting an obese man with no skills. I don't like the mall fighting personally. I'm not a big fan of it.
They're both funny.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, that Barnett karate combat fight was horrible. I just saw the highlight. I saw him get a win.
That's awesome. He should keep fighting there.
Why are you trying to predict fights? You cannot predict fights. This is a scam. What a weird comment.
Bye.
I could be sleeping right now. I'm on here doing it for free.
Yeah, we're doing this for free. We're scamming you people for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
We're scamming ourselves. This is going to be 2.5 hours of our time, Brady, where we get nothing for it.
I know.
Talking about Guillermo Pat and we're fucking scamming you pricks. How about it's the other fucking way around?
Yeah.
Rocket Drink.
Fuck you, Rocket Drink.
Dumbass
bitch.
What a
all right
logo that is, too.
God. All right. Yeah. All right. God help us.
Go pound sand.
God help us. Melissa Croden going against Luana Santos. We got Croden, 34 years old, 5'9" with a 69.5-inch reach. We got Luana Santos, 25 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. We got Santos 9 years younger. Croden with a 3-inch height advantage and a 1.5 reach advantage. Melissa Croden is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. She made her debut against Nara Lisboa, won that fight by third-round knockout. As far as Luana Santos, 4-1 in her last 5 fights. A knockout win against Juliana Killer Miller, a decision win against Stephanie Yeager, a submission win against Maria Agapova, a decision loss to Casey O'Neill, and then a submission win against Tainara Lisboa. Wheezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Luana Santos, and that has nothing to do with the way she fights. But when it comes to her striking, I don't think it's very good, Brady. And Melissa Croden's very aggressive, not just at distance striking range, but also in the clinch. Luana really does her best work when she's grappling, when she's getting takedowns, and when she gets into top control. She's a very good grappler, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, good judo, can get fights to the ground. She's controlling her opponents for over 44% of her UFC octagon time. And, she lands 1.9 takedowns per 15 minutes. And she's actually got really good, distance striking metrics. But I think most of that is, because of the Juliana Miller fight, which is one of the most comical UFC fights of all time. I think if you ever wanted to torture a boxing coach, you'd tie him into a chair and you'd make him watch that fight on repeat until he just broke mentally.
Oh,
do you remember that? I mean, it looked like a couple of 12-year-old high schoolers going at it. It was bad. But she does really good work in the grappling. So if she can get fights to the ground, she's going to be able to win minutes and potentially moments. I mean, 2 wins by submission at the UFC level, 1 win by knockout over Juliana Miller in the fight that we just talked about. And she won a decision against Stephanie Yeager. So she's showing multiple paths to victory. And Luana Santos, her only loss came to Casey O'Neill, who's, somebody that can grapple in her own right and win minutes on the feet. So I think that was the one step up in competition that she took. If you look at O'Neill and the level that she's at and compare it to Luana's other opponents, Lisboa, Agapova, Stephanie Yeager, Juliana Miller, you could tell the level that Luana's at right now. And the question is Melissa Croden at that level? She's 34 years old, so she's not a young prospect. But she's only got 9 UFC fights. She's been fighting a little over 6 years, so she hasn't been the most active fighter, but a really impressive UFC debut against Lisboa. She showed some good striking against Lisboa, who's a Muay Thai world champion, and was able to finish her in the 3rd round. Really good performance. I was happy with it. I thought the people that made Croden bets really, really got it right, and I thought that she really outperformed her money line, and a lot of people got her at plus money too. So I think a lot of people hit that round 3 prop on Croden as well, because we've seen Lisboa slow down later in fights. So, yeah, I mean, I think Melissa showed a lot here. And Luana Santos is fighting up at 135 here, Brady. Now, she's been bouncing back and forth between 125 and 135. She's got Hashimoto's disease, which is something that affects your thyroid. and can cause weight swings. So I don't like Santos as much at 135 because the potential to not be able to out physical your opponents is there. And that's where she's going to do her best work, when she's able to use her physicality and grappling and get on top. But if this fight takes place at distance striking range or in the clinch, I really do favor Croden there. She's just going to have to stop the takedowns and not spend a lot of time getting controlled. But we don't know if she's going to be able to do that against a grappler the level of Santos, because we haven't seen her really do that against that level of grappler on the regional scene. But I believe Melissa is now training over with Jasmine Jazdavicius over at Niagara Top Team. I'm not positive about that. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. But if she's training with Jasmine, that would be a really good training partner to prepare her for the kind of attacks that you're going to see Santos look for to get those takedowns, which isn't necessarily blast doubles or single legs, but going to be more clinching up and then using judo techniques to try to get you down to the ground. And that's something that Jasmine is very good at, those body lock takedowns. So if Melissa can clean up the takedown defense and keep this fight standing, I think she's going to beat Luana.
Yeah, let's see where this line opened up, because I know a ton of monies came in on Croden. Not really. So Santos opened up at -150. She was at -170 and currently at -140. Croden was as high as +145. So yeah, +121 now. So I expect that line to keep probably closing throughout the week. I like Croden. She's a dog. I like fighters that have that dog in her, man, and she certainly does. She's going to come forward, eat one to give one, make it dirty, make it gritty, and a lot of fighters don't like fighting that way. So, yep, dog or pass for me as well. Again, but probably not a fight I'm betting on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the first couple of fights in this card is like, geez, man.
It's rough, dude.
Jeez.
It's a true Apex card, Brady.
Oh, +155. There you go.
Nice, Sam.
I can almost guarantee you're going to get a ton of CLV. We got Rocket Drink. Why are you still acting like a professional, buddy? Reported. I can't imagine being this much of a loser. And when am I trying to act professional? I'm talking about WikiFeed. How am I trying to act professional?
Yeah, dude. If somebody in the chat could get Rocket Drink a hurt feelings report, he would like to fill out that report. We can get him. Maybe we can link like an empty hurt feelings report in the description of this show going forward, Brady, so that when people's feelings are hurt, they can actually fill out that report. Let us know how their feelings were hurt. Yes. So that we can make the appropriate adjustments here, and that they can file it with the Department of Nobody Gives a Fuck.
Yeah, and where are my mods at? Where am I?
Yeah,
I don't like losers in the chat, and we got a big giant loser here in Rocket Drink. So let's mods, come on, let's get him out of here, man. Let's get this loser out of here. We got Daniel Forrest with the $2 donation to the Scam and Wig Fund. Appreciate you, Forrest, for sponsoring the show today. It means a lot, buddy. Weezy have smoked any of that hash Emoto lately?
The hash Emoto? No, I have not. I actually have some around the house. But boy, that stuff is strong. No, I have not.
Give me Croden here. That 3-fight win streak is looking tasty. Also, Croden is a dog. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, man. She's got that dog in her. Love fighters that got that dog in her. Croden is just physical. I don't think she's more skilled anywhere than Santos. Problem is Santos basically got out physical to buy O'Neal. Croden is a pog. There you go. Santos took that fight on short notice against O'Neal, so she gets some content for her OnlyFans. She has an OnlyFans?
I guess. Did she go all the way to Australia for that fight?
Well, she has an OnlyFans. Let's see. I wonder if she's showing ass or... Yeah, it looks like she might be showing ass. Interesting.
Yeah. And then probably some fight footage too, but...
Yeah, maybe.
The ass is what brings in the money.
Yeah. Brady, you killed that man's YouTube name for a comment, brah. What was his name? I forget his name.
Oh, I don't know. It's for hurt feelings.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't. And I hate to see it. Weezy, we need one final story for 2025. Set us off with a banger.
Dude, I don't know. I'm drinking, so maybe I'll think of something
Yeah.
a little bit later. I'm going to grab my second beer here. I'll be right back.
All right. We got Nick in the building. Got to pipe up that like button too. What's going on? What's up, Nick? Good to see you. Got to pipe up Rocket, man. I mean, dude, he's just a loser, man. Nothing else. Nothing better to do. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. And it is going to be Sean Sheriff going against Steven Asplund. We got Sheriff, who is 32 years old, 6'3" with a 77-inch reach. We got Steven Asplund, 27 years old, 6'5" with a 78-inch reach. We got Asplund, 5 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, and a 1-inch reach advantage. Sean Sheriff is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut. I believe he was on short notice against Junior Tafa. Lost that fight by second-round knockout. As far as Steven Asplund, he is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He had a Contender Series win and got a first-round knockout against Anthony Garasio. And it was a couple of weeks ago where we were trying to figure out, like, who's the worst heavyweight? Who is the worst heavyweight? And we came to a conclusion that the worst heavyweight on the current roster, is Sean Sheriff. Sean Sheriff is the worst heavyweight on the roster. Went back and watched that Junior Tafa fight today. And he just showed the worst display of cardio I've ever seen. You know, he had never been out of the first round. He got out of the first round and he just had nothing left against Junior Tafa. Up until then, like, he looked decent. I believe he's training at Extreme Couture, which is a pretty good gym. He's in Vegas, so that's good. When he's winning fights, he's winning them early and by knockout. But you got to imagine if this fight, goes past a couple minutes, goes past the first round especially, it's going to heavily favor a guy like Steven Asplund, who's going to have the cardio advantage here. But it's still a greasy fight. Asplund could potentially get knocked out early. I don't necessarily think Asplund's that great of a fighter. He's a great story and all that, but he's not really a guy I want to lay minus 205 on. But I'm also not betting Sean Sheriff, who is literally the worst heavyweight on the roster. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, should be a pretty sloppy heavyweight fight. Sean Sheriff gassed out in that fight against Tafa because he took it on 2 or 3 days' notice.
Yeah.
So it was a short notice opportunity for him. He had a good first round, but there's only so much you can do. I mean, and he might have gassed out anyway. We don't know. Yeah. They're heavyweights, man. You just can't expect them to be fighting at a high pace for long. But Asplund has been to decision once. He went to decision with almost went to decision with Hammer Morton, got him out of there late, beat Larry Gonzalez by unanimous decision. He was up there in Minnesota. He trains with Thomas Peterson, so he gets some good looks in the wrestling. He's 6'5" with a 78-inch reach. He's only 27 years old. My favorite thing about Asplund is his 2 best weapons, in my opinion. He's got a great uppercut, and I love the way that this dude times his step-in knees. They're really nice, man, and I've seen him land them quite a bit. So I think he's going to find some knockouts with those weapons at this level. And he's just going to be getting better, man. He's only 27 years old. I think he's fought a decent level of regional scene competition. His only loss came to Denzel Freeman, and Freeman wrestled him, though. And Freeman didn't want to wrestle Bulow because, Bulow's a grappler, and because he took that fight on short notice. Freeman on a full camp's a problem. That fight that he's got coming up against Josh Hokett is going to be an interesting fight because they're both really good wrestlers. But so Asplund was even able to get up once when Freeman got him down, but the second time he got him down, he put him in a bad situation. Asplund went to stand back up, and when he did, he kind of raised his chin, and Denzel got underneath it and choked him out. So I think he's ready. He's a lot more ready than a lot of these other guys that we've seen get UFC contracts for no reason, other than, and some of them, like, they're actually signing them. That's what's weird. Like a guy like Sheriff, we know he's probably not meant to be here. He's only 4-1 as a pro. He's only got 16 minutes of professional experience, but he's here because he took a short notice fight, so now he's going to get a couple more opportunities. But when you're going out there and signing guys, where it makes no sense, like Max Jimenez, like Pat, like Fry, and they got to prove themselves, and they're not ready to at this level. So I think Aspen's ready, and I think Sheriff is looking in pretty good shape too, dude. He's former Marine. The guy's a tough guy, and the recent pictures of him are showing somebody that's maybe starting to cut down a little bit of weight again and starting to fight at a more healthy weight. So it's going to be an interesting fight. These guys should throw down. It should be really fun. Sheriff might have better conditioning this time around. Yeah. And I think Aspen's a pretty good prospect with a pretty decent, well-rounded skill set. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. I'm not going to be gambling on it, dude.
No.
But I think it'll be a fun fight to watch.
That's a good point. He does look to be in much better shape. So if he shows up with better cardio, because he looked decent in the Tafa first round. Looked pretty decent.
Yeah. He almost finished him at the end of the first round.
If he had a couple more seconds.
Yeah.
So
if he would have just taken him down sooner, I think he just waited to take him down, which was kind of like a fight IQ error. And once he got him down, he got to a dominant position and almost finished him.
Yeah, I didn't know you. Former Marine, Sean Sheriff. Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Man, he looks so different in some of these pictures when he was a Marine.
Dude, they don't let you be fat in the Marines, man.
Holy crap.
You can eat like 12,000 calories a day in the Marines. You're going to fucking work it off.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He was in phenomenal shape.
Yeah. He's looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's just how do you bet on this fight? Do you lay -200 on a heavyweight guy making his debut? Do you lay this much chalk? I can't believe the under is -170. I mean, I guess I can kind of see why, but I don't know. I don't love that at all. I don't love it. The fight doesn't go -600. I don't love it. I don't love anything here.
Yeah, this is a rough one, man. You know, and I mean, you got a debutant in Aspen, and you got a guy in Sheriff who's only got 5 pro fights in 16 minutes of cage time. So it feels like if you don't have a really strong read on this, you probably just want to keep your money away.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing's sticking out to me, really. Vittori stinks. Yeah, he's washed. Hopefully that's the last we've seen of him. Let's go. Gotta love some titties. I'm an ass guy, but I'm not a feet guy. Not a feet guy. I'm not. And by the way, we called it last week. We talked about it. I said Macy Barber had the most impressive feet I've seen since Wiki. And what happened? She had an impressive performance. Impressive feet, impressive performance.
She did.
Simple.
She cashed out big.
Simple as that. Congrats on 30K, Brady. Appreciate you, UFC the GOAT. Maybe saving it for a Paramount special. Chris Barnett. We got to bring it back. We got to bring Liang Na back for the Paramount. Brady, I remind you about this fight coming up in the comments a few weeks ago. Remember, Sean will lose. Yeah, I mean, I'm not picking Sean Sheriff, but what worries me is what if we see a better version of this guy, a guy that's not taking the fight on 2 days' notice. And Aspen's still like a low-level heavyweight type guy that still has a ton to prove. He's 27 years old, and he can get better, but he was a pretty big dog in his contender series fight against Gracia, right?
Oh, yeah, he was. He was a plus. I've got it here. When I always write the reasons to bet on these guys, and for Sheriff, he was plus 210 versus Tafa, but Aspen was plus 145 to Guaracio, who's like 5'8".
Yeah, he is.
Butterball from CFFC, you know. So I mean, I don't know why it is a big shift in price. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Maybe it's warranted. We'll find out, but I don't think I'll have my money on this one. Sheriff isn't that bad, but I've never seen anyone gas out as hard as he did against Tafa. I can see Aspen taking over as Sheriff tires out. That's kind of how I'm seeing it play out. But again, I think we'll see Sheriff in better shape with better cardio because he did gas out horribly. Just a very, very bad display of cardio. 8 title fight. Oh, talking about the White House. Yeah, apparently they're gonna have 8 or 9 title fights for the White House.
That's what Trump said.
Yeah,
you know, he's a chronic exaggerator. I'm sure Dana was like, get him on the phone. This dumbass, you know, 8 title fights on this card, dude.
I will be attending that card, by the way, the White House card.
Are you really?
I'm not gonna have like seats. You're not obviously not gonna have seats, but they're gonna do like I think set up stands and like chairs and stuff.
Oh,
So I'll
no
be sitting.
kidding.
Yeah, definitely gonna head there for the White House card. But apparently, like only like really famous people and stuff are gonna get to actually sit by the cage and stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
and those are probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. Which
I don't think I'm gonna be getting a call from Uncle Don for tickets for that one. You know,
but I will be in one. Yeah, definitely will be there for sure. Ready to win plus 500 on Van K. I'm going to go through everything tomorrow. It's been a rough couple days traveling, layovers, delays, and had a busy day today. So I'm going to be doing all that tomorrow. I'll let you know. But yeah, congrats. Van KO, sweat free, plus 500. Cash it. Cash it. We're all feet guys here, Brady. You don't have to lie to yourself. I'm not, though, to be honest. I'm not. I'm just not. I don't have an account at WikiFeet.
Neither do I, actually.
Yeah. I bet Dixon does. I bet Dixon's. I know Lusa Soli has one for sure. Shout out Lusa Soli. All right, let's move on to the next fight. So yeah, these first 4 fights, man, I don't think I'm touching them. But this is where it gets. I think this is right here is where it gets interesting. Neil Magny versus Yaroslav Amosov. We got Magny, 38 years old, 6'3" with an 80-inch reach. Amosov, who is 32 years old, 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. We got Amosov, who is 6 years younger, but it's going to be Magny with a 4-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Magny is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, a 3rd-round knockout against Mike Malott, a knockout loss to Mike Morales, a knockout loss to Carlos Praches, 2nd-round knockout against Eliza Zaleski Santos, and a 3rd-round knockout against Jake Matthews. As far as Amosov, he's making his debut. He has a very good record here, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. And he has 28-1. Very good record. And it's not like he's fighting complete bums. He actually has some good wins outside of the UFC for sure. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm kind of sick of losing money on Neil Magny fights. It's like he can't possibly keep getting away. This guy Neil Magny is going to be 45 years old, getting his ass beat for 2 rounds and getting a submission or a knockout late in the fight at 45 years old. It's like, when is this going to stop? When is it going to stop? I don't know. And it's like this dude Amosov's making his debut, and he's minus 400. It's like I've just seen it so many times that I'm like hesitant to be very confident in this guy. But yeah, from what I've seen, he looks pretty good. He's looking to get the fight down to the ground, and that's been a pretty big weakness of Magny at the latter half of his career. Magny can be taken down on the ground. He has suspect ground game. Suspect submission defense. So there's a very clear path for Amosov here. But yeah, making his debut. He has been knocked out in his only loss. I don't know. Does Magny do it again? Does Amosov get sucked into the Magny-verse? Magny's been sucking on these guys, these last couple fights. Does this guy Amosov get sucked right into it?
I don't know. It could happen. I mean, I'm not going to say it can't happen anymore. Just, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I've been betting against Neil Magny. I lost a pile on Zaleski against him. I lost a pile on Jake Matthews against him. And, his losses are coming to elite fighters. You look at the guys that are beating Neil Magny at this level. And, these are elite fighters. The last 5 guys to beat him are Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, Ian Gary, and then Gilbert Burns and Shavkat Rakhmonov. You're talking about 4 of the top 5 fighters in the division right now in Prates, Morales, Gary, and Shavkat. And then you got he fought Burns back in 2023 when he still had a couple of, drops of gas left in the tank. And before that, he's losing to guys like Chiesa and Ponzinibbio and Rafael Dos Anjos and Lorenz Larkin and Damian Maia. Magny's a legend, man. He's one of the most active fighters that we've ever seen. Made his debut in the year 2013, and since then, he's put up 36 UFC fights, 24 UFC wins, over 440 minutes of UFC octagon time. I'm telling you, that kind of activity over that period of time is absolutely legendary. 3 fights a year over a 12-year stretch. So Neil Magny, you know, to stay that healthy for that long and to never say no. Magny, like, he's literally taken every tough fight in the division that currently exists. Magny's fought that dude. Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fought every single guy. You look at that top 10, they have all passed the Neil Magny test. And if you don't pass that test, you don't get into that top 10. It's very hard to do it. So Amosov is coming from Bellator. You know, I mean, what could possibly go wrong with betting a Bellator guy at minus 400, right? Against a guy in Neil Magny who finds some of the most creative and unique ways to win fights, whether they're actually based on his skill or whether they're based on referee incompetence or whether they're just completely based on other fighters gassing out. It doesn't matter. This guy finds a way, and I keep finding less and less money in my fucking wallet after every Neil Magny fight for the last couple times. So I don't know what to do here. I think Amosov is going to take him down and absolutely rinse him. Am I willing to bet on it? Probably not.
Right. It's crazy, man. Like in the Matthews fight, he was a massive underdog live and then ends up winning against Zaleski dos Santos. He's like plus 500 early second round, mid second round. Against Mike Malott, he had to have been like an astronomical underdog.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pulling off these big upsets and he's kind of losing up until he wins type thing. He was losing to Zaleski for the first 7.5 minutes. He got finished by Matthews and came back to life and finished Matthews. He was down 2 rounds against Mike Malott. So yeah, man, I don't know. I guess does he get sucked into the Magnyverse? Amosov is like he's literally the biggest favorite on the card.
Yeah. Wow. Really?
Yeah, biggest favorite on the card.
On this low level of a card, usually you find minus 1,000, you know?
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of interested in the fight doesn't go. Minus 145. Magny's fights have just been finishing nonstop the last several years.
Yeah.
Amosov has, 18 finishes? 19? 17?
Yeah, 20. He's got 20 finishes, 11 submissions, 9 knockouts, and 8 decisions. He's got multiple paths of victory.
And Magny has to kind of win by finish because he's losing so much minutes.
Yeah.
So I guess
minutes against anybody.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of like the fight doesn't go. Minus 145. It's not because you could see a Amosov sub. You can maybe see a TKO, and then you could see maybe a late Magny submission or like a late Magny TKO. So I think that covers some outcomes. Not running to the window for because again I keep losing money on Magny fights. But I guess if I just bet the fight doesn't go in him, I would have won money. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Does Magny get it done again? Does he do it again? Does he do it again? We'll see. Got to sprinkle Magny round 3. Yeah, it's already getting smashed on Bet Online. It's like plus 1,400 now. Just getting obliterated. Let's see. Neil Magny round 3. Yeah, I mean it's a lot. I hit it against Mike Malott. That's the one time I actually hit it against Mike Malott. But I did not hit it against D-Rod. I did not hit it against Jake Matthews. Did not expect those. Magny to suck off Amosov in round 3. I mean, he's been sucking these guys, man. He's been sucking them and getting them out of there late. Crazy to think about. Yeah. Neil Magny's a very, very crazy thing to think about. It's crazy. Magny's fighting a dude making his debut and being that big of an underdog. Yeah, massive underdog. Absolutely. Something tells me I should take a chance on Magny's strength of schedule is unquestionable. That's true, man. I've kind of thought that Magny's been washed for a couple years, but he keeps winning. I guess that's all that matters. Yeah. 4 flukes. Yeah. No, I wouldn't call the Zaleski fight a fluke. Zaleski just kind of blew his load. He can't keep getting away with it. Amosov's best takedowns come against the cage. I don't think his open mat work is phenomenal. Magny gets the fight he wants here. Fight ends by sub plus 200. Yeah, that plus 200 ends by sub. I don't mind. Getting subbed by Jake Matthews and then having the ref change his mind is definitely a fluke. Yeah. I would tend to agree there. Bet him live. Yeah, bet Neil Magny live. You'll get a great price. Even better price than plus 300 probably. So yeah, weird fight. These Neil Magny fights are just weird. Losing every second up until he finds a way to win. So I don't know, man. All right. We'll move on to the next fight. We got Joe Anderson, Breitu, going against Melsik, Bagdasarian. We got Breitu, 30 years old, 5'8", with a 72-inch reach. Bagdasarian, 33 years old, 5'9", with a 70-inch reach. Breitu, 3 years younger. Melsik with a 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Breitu is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A knockout win against poor Weston Wilson. A submission win against Jonathan Pierce. A knockout win against Jack Shore, where he knocked him out to the leg with that cut stoppage. Brutal. Decision loss to William Gomi, and then a decision loss to Pat Sabatini. As far as Melsik Bagdasarian, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A knockout win against Colin Anglin. A decision win against Bruno Souza. Submission loss to Josh Kulabau. Decision win against Tucker Lutz, and a knockout loss to Gene Silva. So Joe Anderson Breitu's money line is getting just smashed. Like I think it was like minus 200 when I saw it yesterday. Now he's minus 270, and yeah, I think it's a great matchup for Breitu. I think he can hurt Melsik on the feet, but where he's gonna look like a big favorite, you got to imagine, is in the grappling. I mean, Joe Anderson Breitu's a legit black belt. Melsik Bagdasarian is a legit white belt. Just get this fight down to the mat. You probably sub this guy instantly. But the thing about Breitu is just the fight IQ, man. Like, he's doing stupid shit in there. He's yelling at his opponent. He's mocking his opponent. He's not wrestling when he should wrestle. He's not grappling when he should grapple. Not the best fight IQ would be my only concern for Breitu, but I think the path's certainly there. I think he has a couple paths, could hurt him, could sub him. So yeah, I like Breitu here, but the line is definitely getting smashed as we speak. Wheezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, it's going to be a treat, man, because like once a year, Melsik Bagdasarian shows up and puts on a dog shit performance, and it's our time now. Here we are, September of 2025, and he's about to get his ass shaved by Joe Anderson Breitu and finished. Just a busted prospect. He was a guy who knocked out some tomato cans on the regional scene in 12 seconds. Easy fights that his old coach Edmund Tarvarian, legend, set him up with, and yeah, he kind of came into the UFC and I don't know, looked okay, I guess. He got, he's a kickboxer. He's a pure kickboxer. He's pretty low volume. He throws like 100% power into everything that he throws, but he's only landed 1 knockdown in 5 UFC fights. He's low volume. He kind of wants a point fighting kickboxing match. And, Breitu is really not going to give that to him. Breitu is going to come forward. He's a brawler, but he can also grapple too. So not only is Bagdasarian going to have to worry about the takedown attempts that are going to be coming his way, but Breitu throws 100% power into everything that he throws, and he's going to come forward. So I don't think Bagdasarian's going to get the space that he needs to kick. I don't think he's going to get the fight that he wants. I think he's going to be put on the back foot here. I think he's going to be defending takedowns, defending submissions. So I think Joe Anderson can kind of get this one however he wants, and we'll see Bagdasarian get his 1 loss this year. He already does have a loss earlier this year. He showed up twice this year, which is good for him because he didn't show up at all in 2024. He fought twice in 2023, but didn't show up at all in 2022. Twice in 2021. So the guy is just not active at all. He can't stay healthy. And when he is in there, he's kind of one-dimensional and low volume. So, yeah, it should be Breitu and Breitu easy.
Yep. He opened up minus 250, went to minus 200, and he's currently minus 270. Bagdasarian was as low as plus 170. He's currently plus 230. And I do expect more money to come in on Breitu throughout the week. Malat blew his load. Definitely blew his load there. Grant Dawson needs some help. Someone please get Grant Dawson some help. Agreed. Breitu second round submission or bust. Okay. Trans MMA. There you go. Mutombo, your conception was fluke. Go find your father, you bastard.
Whoa.
Interesting that Melsik was a pretty big favorite when these guys were booked a couple years ago. Really? I did not know that.
I wish I would have known. Well, in like most Melsik fights, he didn't show up. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels like a pretty good matchup for Breitu, as long as he fights smart. Don't kind of fall into the Melsic. Don't fall into like a low paced kickboxing fight. You have some pressure in there. Come forward, be aggressive. Jeez, minus 220. Breitu is hittable, but tough and better at grappling and will put pressure. I think he gets it done. Yeah, pressure, grapple. I mean, if he gets his fight down to the mat, I mean, it's over. Melsic can't grapple at all. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. And it is going to be Amanda Lemos going against Jillian Robertson. We got Lemos, 38 years old, 5'4", with a 65-inch reach. Robertson, 30 years old, 5'5", with a 63-inch reach. Robertson is 8 years younger, 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Lemos is 2-3 in her last 5 fights. A decision loss to Zhang Wei Li. A decision win against Mackenzie Dern. A submission loss to Verna Jandaroba. A decision win against Yasmin Lucindo. And then a decision loss to Tatiana Suarez. As far as Jillian Robertson, 4-1 in her last 5 fights. A decision loss to Tabitha Ricci. A knockout win against Pauliana Viana. A decision win against Michelle Waters and Gomez. A decision win against Luana Pinheiro. And then a knockout win against Marina Rodriguez. Yeah, I can't wait for this fight. Lemos still going strong. 38 years old at strawweight. 38 and a half years old at strawweight. Pretty impressive there. Jillian's a lot younger here. I think Jillian's been making a lot of improvements. She's now throwing some serious ground and pound. One of my best hits ever was Jillian Robertson by knockout. It was like plus 1,100 when she fought Marina Rodriguez and she TKO'd her. She TKO'd Pauliana Viana. And of course, she's always had that submission game. And yeah, it's a pretty simple matchup to break down. Robertson's going to be looking to get the fight down to the ground. If she can get on top, she's going to pose Lemos a lot of problems with the ground and pound and submission attempts and control. But if Lemos keeps his fight on the feet, it could end pretty poorly for Robertson. So yeah, striker versus grappler matchup. I believe we did have a pretty close line. Robertson was like minus 150. She's now minus 185 now. But yeah, striker versus grappler matchup. What do you think about this one, Weezy?
Yeah, I think this looks a lot like Grant Dawson versus Manny Torres from last week, where if Jillian can't get this to the ground, she's fucked. But if she does, and most people have been able to do that against Amanda Lemos, as Amanda is allowing 39% of her UFC octagon time is being spent being controlled by her opponents, either up against the cage or on the mat. So Lemos gives up a ton of control time at 39%. And Jillian Robertson spends almost 49% of her UFC octagon time controlling her opponents. So Jillian and Lemos both spend less than 50% of their UFC octagon time at distance striking range. That bodes very poorly for Amanda, because if she can't keep this fight standing, she's really not going to have any chance against Jillian, who's the better offensive wrestler, who's the better grappler, who's the better minute and moment winner when this fight goes to the ground. So it's going to be about Amanda. If she can keep this fight standing, she can win. But Jillian is probably going to milk her if she gets her to the mat. And we've seen her do it to so many people. Jillian's got 19 UFC fights, and she's won 13 of them. She's finished 10 of those 13 wins. This is a woman who finishes fights, but she's also been finished in 2 of 6 losses. Because if she doesn't get that grappling game going and she's facing somebody that can really put her in bad positions on the feet with the striking, and Amanda Lemos is certainly that archetype of fighter. I think somebody's going to get served here. Probably just playing under, because it could be Jillian by ground and pound or submission. Could be Amanda by a knockout. So I think it's a pretty good fight to play an under in, and I'm favoring Jillian Robertson pretty strong here to win this fight.
It would be a good time to play the under like earlier today. Now not so much anymore. It's been obliterated. It opened up. The fight doesn't go open up at plus 105. It's now minus 155.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they're on. I would have been on it too had I not had to travel 24 hours in the air. But didn't get there, and now it's just unplayable. But yeah, I still think it probably finishes. Might look at some other props for sure. Get creative. And I do lean Robertson as well, getting the grappling going and eventually finding a finish. Yeah, probably a milking. Would be a milking, I would say. But yeah, minus 185 for now for Robertson. Yeah, so money's coming in on Robertson. Money's coming in on the unders, which makes sense to me. But yeah, if Lemos is winning, it's probably a knockout. Probably a knockout.
Yeah.
Jillian Robertson, wiki feet score has to be up there. Give me Jillian by second round submission. Well, I mean, I can almost guarantee you that Robertson has the better wiki score here. I'd be shocked if she didn't. Let's check Lamos first. Lamos is on here. Oh, God. 4.2.
Yeah, that's pretty low, dude.
They give you a 4 just for showing up.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez, let me take a look at some of these.
I think Arena Alexeva was like a 3.8. You know, like...
Oh, God. Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. All right, let's take a look at Jillian. I mean, they got to be better than 4.2. I mean, that's kind of an embarrassing score.
Yeah.
Jillian Robertson. Wow, 632 photos. No. Oh, God, a 4.02. Lamos has the better wiki feet score.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I got to bring it up. Amanda Lemos plus money here, plus 143. She got more power on the feet.
Wow.
On the feet. I just said on the feet. Wow. But yeah, I mean, Lemos can knock her out. Better wiki feet score. That's really interesting. Jillian must have some, busted ass feet in order to be that low.
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in.
You said they give you a 4 just for showing up.
Just for showing up.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. I mean, they're not great. They're certainly not great. Jeez, that's the biggest shock of the show thus far.
It is. I'm kind of like speechless.
Yeah. So maybe minus 280, minus 185 is a little too wide. That's crazy. But yeah. Lamos is Robert's son, is a choke artist. Well, Lamos is live. Robert's son is a choke artist.
Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. Me neither. Oh, that might be what's happening. People are mistaking Lamos for Halle Berry. That could be it. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Kennedy and Nzechukwu going against Marcus Buchecha. We got Kennedy, 33 years old, 6'5" with an 83-inch reach. Buchecha, 35 years old, 6'3" with an 80-inch reach. We got Kennedy 2 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, 3-inch reach advantage. Kennedy Nzechukwu is 2-3 in his last 5 fights, a knockout loss to Dustin Jacoby, a decision loss to Ovince St. Preux, a knockout win against Chris Barnett, a knockout win against Lucas Bresky, and a submission loss to Walter Walker. As far as Marcus Buchecha, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Martin Budai, and lost that fight by decision. Yeah, I mean, it's a Kennedy fight, man. I mean, Kennedy fights are just so tough to call. I mean, this guy's got to be pound for pound a top 5 most inconsistent fighter in the UFC. Like some fights he's beating guys like Carlos Olberg, and some fights he's losing to a 50-year-old Ovince St. Preux. It's like make it make sense, Kennedy. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. So it's really hard to cap his fights. It might be like a mental thing with Kennedy, because when he's on, man, he looks good. This guy is massive for the division, even at heavyweight, 6'5", 83-inch reach, great volume, a ton of power, but sometimes he just doesn't show up. He's getting heel hooked. Like he's losing to Ovince St. Preux by decision. So I don't know what to do with this one. Buchecha lost his debut as a pretty decent-sized favorite to Budai, but Budai's a pretty solid fighter. Closely lined fight here. What are your thoughts on this one? Another sketchy fight.
Yeah, it is. And I absolutely love losing money on both of these guys, Brady. I had a 3-unit bet on Buchecha against Budai that went tits up. I had a big bet on Kennedy against Dustin Jacoby. Got fucking starched in like less than a minute. Had a big bet on him against Da Un Jung, because I was calling him the future after he beat Carlos Solberg, So yeah, I mean, I think I even lost. I think I even had the Nzechukwu money line in a parlay against Walter Walker, because I was saying it's mathematically impossible for Walter Walker to get 3 heel hooks in a row. He's on 4 and counting right now. So yeah, I mean, Kennedy is one of these guys, he's the really talented guy that may not be able to put it all together, I'd call him Ryan Spann, but Kennedy is better than Ryan Spann. You know what I'm saying? He's probably got more talent than Ryan Spann, and he seems to have his head in a better place than Ryan does. But it just never came together for this guy. And there's still time. He's still only 33 years old, Brady. 6'5", 83-inch reach, southpaw. This guy can throw knees like uppercuts. You know, his elbows are nasty in the clinch. The one thing that I think he really lacks, and it's something that's just so important, it's process. Yeah. Like if I were to ask you, what does a Kennedy and Nzechukwu win look like? There's not really a good answer to that question. Like, what's Kennedy's path to victory? It's just kind of like beating bad fighters for the most part. Like he doesn't really get takedowns. He's high volume, but he's not necessarily a great minute winner at distance striking range. He takes a lot of damage and he's not very durable for the division. But like the conditioning is there, the size is there. He can even mix in the wrestling. Like we've seen him do that in the Robertson fight and have a lot of success with it. So, I mean, I feel like if Kennedy and Nzechukwu went to like American Top Team and got some real coaches and some really good steroids, that he could put it together. They could figure out how to get the most out of this guy. But I just don't think it's happening over at Fortis. I don't think he's getting. There's been no fucking improvement. There really hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, just 4 fights ago, he lost to Oven St. Preux.
Oh.
He's 41 years old. You know, a low-volume fighter, a guy who looks like he drinks cough syrup as a hobby. And then the wins are against who? Fat Barnett and Lucas Bresky? Getting heel hooked from a back seatbelt position by Walter Walker. I don't know, man. Like Buchecha, I thought he might have won the Budai fight. It was very close. But the thing is like Buchecha was actually winning on the feet, but he was selling out for the grappling because that's who he is. And I kind of felt like if he was just a little bit happier with winning the minutes on the feet and then timed 1 or 2 good takedowns each round, he could have easily won that fight, but he didn't realize that he was hitting harder and landing the bigger shots on the feet. So I think the fact that he got so many takedowns stuffed is what made it look to the judges like Budai won the fight. I mean, I don't have a problem with the decision. I would have preferred that Buchecha got it. I wouldn't have lost 3 units, but still at the end of the day, I think that this guy can do good things at the UFC. His wins in 1 championship were solid. He's got really high-level Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he seems to hit pretty hard on the feet. So he's got a pulse, and anybody with a pulse can give Nzechukwu problems because he's not the most durable guy in the world, and he doesn't really have anything that he goes to that you're really particularly worried about unless he really does start figuring out that he needs to get inside and throw those knees and elbows. But until he does that, I don't know what to think of him.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins this fight is probably going to look minus 500. It just all depends, if Kennedy shows up or not. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it's brutal. Just brutal. Kennedy opened up minus 200, currently minus 131. Buchecha opened up plus 170, currently plus 111. Some money coming in on Buchecha. I think a lot of that has to do with the inconsistency of Kennedy, and he did just get heel hooked.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to think, man. This is a tricky fight, man. I think you can make a pretty good argument for both of them.
Oh, you absolutely could. Absolutely could. Oh, God. Yeah, betting on Kennedy. It's just betting on Kennedy fight. It's just like a landmine. Kennedy's the best at being the worst. Yep, Buchecha has a win by heel hook. Yeah. Could see it happen again, I guess. I was kind of shocked that happened the first time against Walter. Span is dog shit, and I know I'm an expert in it. What? Carlos Ulberg isn't a bad fighter. Weezy, yeah, Ulberg's not bad.
Ulberg's a great fighter, but remember, he lost that fight. That fight should have been stopped. He absorbed over 100 significant strikes in the first round, you guys.
Yeah, Ulberg blew his load.
He took so much damage, and then Ulberg just didn't have anything left after that. So that is his best win by a mile. There's no question about it. But it wasn't a great it's not like he ran through Ulberg. He just Homer Simpsoned him, and ever since that fight, his durability has been dog shit.
Yeah.
Olberg stole his durability for the rest of his career.
Yeah. Yeah, because he got knocked out by Dabu and Jung by an invisible strike.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How did he get
That
knocked
was
out by
hard losing money on that fight, let me tell you.
an invisible strike? Is crazy. Brady, what are the odds on the Kape shows? I think it's like maybe 50-50. Minus
At
110.
least 50-50, yeah.
Who are we picking, lads? I got to look into it more. I don't know. I think they're both very untrue. I thought Bucha looked freaking awful in his debut, and Kennedy's looked awful in half of his fights.
Who's the favorite?
Kennedy, but money's pouring in on Bucha.
Okay.
Might close
Yeah,
out.
I mean, you cannot lay juice on Kennedy and Zechiku.
Yeah.
You just can't, dude. He's minus 700. Here, actually, let me pull something up here. I got my profitability numbers. So let me look here. In Zechiku, betting line numbers. So 8-6 in the UFC, minus 172 average betting line, negative 1% ROI. But as a favorite, he's 6-4 with a negative 12% ROI. So he will drop the ball when you're laying juice on him. I mean, like, he was minus 700 against St. Preux.
Yeah.
So not good.
I missed the water buffalo. Yeah. Worst part about this channel is the commentary is hilarious and entertaining, but the picks are off. Hey, come on. I had a pretty good night at UFC 323.
I did not.
Give me a break.
I did not. So he's right about me.
Kennedy versus Jung confirmed rigged. Now that we know what we know, I think that's the only explanation. That could be the only explanation, because it still to this day makes, you can go back and watch it. I mean, it makes no sense. The strike didn't land. Oh, Kennedy threw a fight too. I'm shocked. I tell you. Their picks are usually good at being entertaining, and having good picks ain't easy. None of it's easy. None of it's a lot of hard work.
Being entertaining is easy. That's easy.
No, it's tough.
Well, but I mean, we're naturals.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Stack Diggers is an entertaining show.
Yeah.
It's the picks, man. Like, I loved Grant Dawson this week. Loved him. The Pantoja pick. If Brady, I had no idea his arm was going to get snapped in half.
You didn't cap that in?
I did not cap that in.
Well, that's your fault then.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's my point. Like, I can be entertaining. Give me 2 beers. I'll be fucking entertaining. Give me 2 hours, 2 beers.
There you go.
That's easy. It's the picks. It's the picks that can get tricky.
Hell yeah. All right. God. Let's move on to the next fight. We got a good one. It's Mel Costa going against Morgan Sharier. You call him the last butt pirate, right? That's not you that did that.
I think that was somebody else, dude. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but I mean, the last pirate is a pretty shitty nickname. So I mean, like, it wouldn't just be me, right? I mean, like, somebody else could have easily come up with that if it wasn't me.
I've only heard one person say it, and it was you, but maybe I'm not listening.
Well, maybe now more other people will start saying it, you know, like, and like, you're the one that actually, like, I said it once, and then, like, every time he's fought since, you keep bringing it up, saying that I just said it.
Because it's hilarious. It's the last butt pirate.
I was mad at him. I had money on him against Nathaniel Wood. It went tits up, and I didn't take it well. That's on me, Brady. It's on me.
All good. Know? But yeah, we get the last butt pirate. He's 30 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. Mel Costa, 29 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. Costa 1 year younger, 3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. Mel Costa's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Steve Garcia. Submission win against Shalini Underd and Becke. Submission win against Andre Fili. Decision win against Christian Rodriguez. And a decision win against Julian Erosa. As far as Morgan Charrier, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Had a knockout win against Manolo Zucchini. A decision loss to Jose Mariscal. Knockout win against Gabriel Miranda. Decision loss against Nathaniel Wood. And then a knockout win against Nate Lammer. This is going to be a banger. I kind of think this has Fight of the Night written all over it.
Absolutely. I mean, Costa's an all-action fighter who can win fights in a number of different ways. 8 wins by submission. 7 wins by knockout. 9 wins by decision. And he can lose fights in a variety of ways, as he's got 2 losses by knockout, 2 losses by submission, and 3 losses by decision. Charrier is more of a KO guy, right? I mean, he's 16-1 to the finish, 13 of those 16 finish wins come by way of knockout, but he's 5-10 to the decision. So clearly he's one of these guys who's very comfortable in his ability to be able to find moments in fights that are going to be able to finish the fights. But sometimes people that have that confidence in the moment winning ability, and I compare Morgan Sharier a lot to like a Manel Kape type, where you kind of feel like the guy's not the best minute winner, but when he's a phenomenal athlete, he's going to have athletic advantages over most of his opponents, and he's going to be able to find that moment as he lets the minutes slip away. And yeah, when you're 5-10 to the decision and you've only been to decision twice at the UFC level, that means you were 5-8 to the decision on the regional scene against non-UFC level competition. So Morgan is somebody that I think is a little bit more suited to winning moments, while Melky is a little bit more suited to winning minutes. I like Melky's striking. I like his grappling. I like his clinch game. I think he does everything pretty well, and he can find multiple paths to victory, and he'll adjust his game path or his game plan based on what his opponent's weaknesses are. So I expect to see him try to wrestle Sharier here, but Charrier's got very good takedown defense and very good anti-grappling. And I think that Melky's going to be looking to use his kicks at distance striking range to kind of not let Morgan get in the pocket and kind of swing hooks against him. So I think it's a really fun fight. This is probably one of the most relevant fights on this card. I think Nzechukwu Buchecha is relevant for the heavyweight division because it's not a very good division, and both of those guys actually have attributes that are above average for that division. And I kind of see the same thing here, like Sharier is somebody who does have a pretty high ceiling due to the athletic ability and KO power, but he's kind of an idiot sometimes, kind of like Manel Kape, in that he can get a little bit too patient or just kind of let minutes pass him by while he's waiting for his opponent to make a mistake that he might not make. So I kind of favor Costa here. He's a little bit younger. He's got a similar amount of experience as Sharier does, but he's been fighting at a little bit of a higher level recently, in my opinion. But these guys are really well matched.
Yeah, I've been picking against Costa lately, but I'm not picking a butt pirate, man.
You could do that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's not a good thing, a French butt pirate. I mean, not exactly like the best meta for MMA, but the kid's winning. He's got 21 professional wins. He's got more UFC wins than he has losses. So, maybe we'll be able to find something here. He got a win over Nate Landwehr, in his last fight. But the other two UFC wins over Gabriel Miranda and Manolo Zucchini, not nearly as good.
So I'm really surprised by this line because people really love Mel Costa. Like, he's a really popular, people love this guy.
Yeah.
And he opened up plus 130, currently minus 105. Shari opened up minus 150, currently minus 150. We got to pick him here.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like that's good. I think you can make good arguments for both of these guys. So same age. Look, for guys that are right around 30 years of age, Morgan's got 33 fights and Costa's got 30.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are very experienced, and 7 UFC fights for Costa. He's been very active. 5 UFC fights for Sharier. He could have gotten that win against Mariscal, which would have been a very good win. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are well matched. I think a pick 'em works.
But you got to cap in the nicknames.
Well, yeah. Costa's calling himself the Dalmatian because that's what people used to call him as a.
Is that really his nickname?
Well, no, but because he's got the vitiligo, people called him that growing up, and now he's kind of owning it and helping others that have that affliction, but does he have a nickname? Oh no, he's Milk Kothi.
He's what?
Milk Kothi, right?
Okay.
Is that what it is? Let me look. I'm on UFC stats right now. Let's look. Yeah, Melk, MELK, Kothi, CAUTHY. I don't know what that means.
That's brutal.
Yeah, we got Melk Kothi and the last butt pirate.
Let's
bring in Caitlin blonde fighter Chukagian to ref the fight, I guess. Which is my least favorite nickname.
So what does Kothi mean?
I don't know, but it sounds like Costa. Costa. I don't know.
I think it's
I don't know.
It's just a stupid nickname. I don't think it means anything. Yeah,
maybe
maybe
it's like a nickname. Yeah, because nobody's gonna call him Melk Heizel, so his friends probably called him Melk.
I mean, that's two brutal nicknames back and going against each other. But yeah,
maybe it's a draw. Maybe we'll get a draw here.
We got one last week. We certainly got one last week. Fight goes -180. Fight has to go +150. Over 2.5 -205. Under 2.5 +177. A lot of Sharier fights go the distance.
Yeah, he's been to a ton of decisions. Very durable.
Yes, very durable. Give me Costa and give me the over. I'm a fan of this guy. Always happy to see him on the card. Yeah, he's a fun fighter. I like Costa too.
Oh yeah,
Costa brings the fun fights as always. Yeah. If I see Milky, it's on site. I've still been forgiving him for what?
Maybe when he subbed Feely.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated that one because Feely kind of stuck his neck back in there.
Yeah.
It was shady.
It was
very shady.
Definitely a fixed fight. Under 2.5 +177. Morgan has 5 split majority decision losses. Clearly his style is not suited for the scorecard. Yeah, a lot of close fights. Anybody see Melky's wife? Would be funny if she's really hot. Is he married?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Didimation would be a good, that'd be a pretty cool nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cothi is primarily a Scottish term. Cothi, also spelled Kuthi, means agreeable and genial. Friendly.
Genial, like friendly, yeah.
Friendly and charistic, or of a befitting a friend. So
okay.
like a nice guy.
Yeah, like a nice guy. Yeah, all right.
Jeez. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. How many fights we got left? 3?
I think 3, yeah, because we got the Almeida, the 2 Caesars facing off, and then we got a co-main and a main.
Sounds good. We got Cesar Almeida going against Cesare Olazechuk. We got Almeida, 37 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Olazechuk, 25 years old, 6'3" with a 75-inch reach. Olazechuk, 12 years younger, 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. Almeida is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Made his debut against poor Dylan Bucha. Won that fight by knockout. Had a contender series win by decision against Lucas Fernando prior to that. A decision loss to Roman Kopylov. A decision win against Ihor Pateria. And then a knockout win against Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. As far as Olazechuk, had like a 30-second win on the contender series against Theo Hague. And has some pretty good wins outside the UFC. Tom Breeze knocked out Tom Breeze as well. And yeah, it's pretty cool, seeing Cesare Olazechuk in the UFC, because you watch this guy and he looks just like Mikel Olazechuk, his brother. He fights exactly like him. He's going to come forward, has really fast hands. His grappling's actually not as bad as Mikel's. I've seen him stuff some takedowns. He actually has a couple submissions on his record, but yeah, the striking is really good from this guy. Last time he lost the fight, it was due to somebody taking him down and controlling him against Razulov a couple fights ago, but I mean, that's not Cesar Almeida. Cesar Almeida got out grappled by Roman Kopylov. How do you get
that happened?
How do you get out grappled by Roman Kopylov? So I kind of think the UFC is doing them a favor, and it's a great matchmaking because both the guys are going to get the fight they want. We're not really going to see either guy probably go for takedowns here. Both these guys are going to strike, and both these guys are pretty high-level kickboxers as well. So looking forward to this one. Another fight of the night, potential fight here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to this one a lot. Like when you watch Cesar Olazechuk fight, he's got that same cadence as his brother. He kind of like feints that jab a little bit with the right hand. They're both southpaws. He's got that up and down. Like Michael kind of like moves up and down. He feints. And when he comes, like, dude, he's got heavy hands. And it's the same thing with Cesar. But Cesar kind of looks a little bit cleaner on the feet. Like Michael's like a little bit awkward. You know, he's got like a weird cadence and a weird rhythm to his strikes. Caesar looks a lot smoother, and it looks like he hits harder, but I'm sure it's Mihail who actually hits harder. But what Caesar does really well is he's really aggressive with his Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He can actually win minutes and moments with his grappling, unlike his brother, who's more of a guy like his brother kind of reminds me of Guskov a little bit, and that his grappling is shit. But if he gets into top position, Mihail Oleksiejczuk, his ground and pound is fucking phenomenal, and he finishes people with it. So I'm looking for Caesar to maybe take advantage of the grappling edge that he has in this fight over Caesar, who's a pure kickboxer. I think this Oleksiejczuk looks like a really good prospect to me. He's only 25 years old. He's got 19 professional fights, and I've still got a lot more tape to watch on this guy because this guy's been 5 rounds, like 4 different times, Brady.
Yeah.
He's got the conditioning to go 25 minutes. He's got really aggressive Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's got powerful striking that I think will be able to not just win moments, but maybe minutes at this level too. The Rasulov fight was a bad look, not because he got out grappled, but because when he had chances to get away from this guy and strike with him, he didn't take that. He had too much faith in his grappling against the Turkish crotch sniffer who had no chance against him on the feet. So I don't know if Caesar has the best, or I should say Oleksiejczuk has the best fight IQ. I don't know if he has that because he kind of needs to take advantage of the grappling, the edge that he has here, because Caesar is a guy that has no grappling. If you're getting out wrestled by Roman Kopylov, that's really bad. And even in the Horth fight, that coked up referee kept like pulling them out of the clinch after 5 seconds in the clinch. So even when Peterier tried to have grappling success against Caesar, the ref kept fucking it up for him. So I think that Caesar, if he takes advantage of that grappling edge, he should be able to make this make him look like a pretty good favorite here, being the much younger fighter, the more well-rounded fighter. He's even got a lot more MMA experience. Caesar Almeida's only got 8 MMA fights. Caesar Oleksiejczuk's got 19. So a lot more experience for Caesar, more of a well-rounded skill set, and I think that he can match Caesar Almeida's energy and output and power on the feet. It's just that Caesar Almeida's got legendary durability, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's fought Alex Pereira 3 times and never been knocked out, and I think he's even got a win over Alex Pereira in kickboxing. I don't think this guy's ever been knocked out in kickboxing, period.
Yeah.
And he's fought the biggest hitters in that sport. And, you know, he fought Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who's one of the biggest hitters in the division, and wound up going chin for chin with that dude. Got put in a few bad spots. And I mean, like, nobody recovers and comes back against Al Hassan. If that guy clips you once, it's nighty-night. Keep your butthole tight. But Caesar Almeida came back and wound up getting a come-from-behind victory against Al Hassan. That was very impressive. So I'm impressed by Caesar Almeida's striking and his durability, but I think Oleksiejczuk's got more ways to win the fight.
Yep. Kind of like the over minus 160.
Minus 160. Yeah, Caesar Almeida's very durable, and Oleksiejczuk has been 25 minutes several times on the regional scene.
Yeah. Yep. I don't mind the over.
Yeah, I think that's a good look too, dude.
Oleksiejczuk minus, oh my gosh. So Oleksiejczuk opened up plus 170. Somebody got fired. He's currently minus 200. Almeida opened up minus 200. He's currently plus 170. Wild.
Yeah, Caesar's got that UFC experience edge, a strength of schedule edge at the UFC level at least, and maybe a kickboxing edge. So interesting.
Yep. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be the co-main event. We got Giga Chikadze going against Kevin Vallejos. We got Giga, 37 years old, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach. Vallejos, 24 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. Vallejos, 13 years younger. Jeez, Giga got old fast, man. 37 already?
Dude, Giga probably looked like he was 30 when he was 15.
That's true.
See that hairline on him? You know, like...
Oh, gosh, yeah. Vallejos is going to have a is at a 5-inch height disadvantage and a 6-inch reach disadvantage. Giga is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Edson Barbosa. Decision win against Calvin Kattar. Decision win against Alex Caceres. Decision loss to Arnold Allen. And decision loss to David Onama. As far as Vallejo's, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Knocked out poor Cam Teague. In the first round on the Contender Series, knocked out Sung Woo Choi. And then beat Danny Silva by decision. So, yeah, it kind of feels like Kevin Vallejo is getting Giga at the right time here. Much, much younger. Really good striker, really good volume, extremely tough, durable, solid cardio, and can potentially mix in some takedowns here as well. He is minus 300, which, I mean, let's be honest, this is a pretty big step up in competition going from guys like Cam Teague, who's terrible, just horrible. Sung Woo Choi, who's gotten cut. His best win would be, Danny Silva, who's also not great. This would be his best win here. But, yeah, I kind of think Giga's a little bit past it at this point. And I think Vallejo's probably wins, probably by decision, I'm thinking, just because Giga is extremely tough. Vallejo's is not really somebody that's going to take you down and sub you. So I kind of think it's maybe a Vallejo's by decision for this one for me. But, yeah, minus 300 already for Vallejo's. Not entirely interested in that. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, Vallejo's is 5 inches shorter and has a 6-inch reach disadvantage, and Giga Chikadze has got great kicks. So it's going to be on Kevin to pressure him, get him on the back foot, close the distance, and get into the pocket where he's going to be the better boxer. Might not be easy, but, the one thing I have noticed is that when you pressure Giga, he will get on his back foot. He will circle. He's fairly easy to crowd and put on the back foot. So I think if Kevin is willing to do that, once he gets into the pocket, he's going to beat this dude up, rib roast him, be faster, throw more volume, and just get him on the back foot. I think that's going to be the most important part of this. I don't know if Kevin's going to mix in any grappling, but I think if he did, it'd be very smart. That's never been something that Giga's been great at. It's not his base. It's not how he wins fights. So I think Kevin's got more ways to win this fight. I think he's the much better boxer, while Giga's the better kickboxer and has the better long-range weapons. But yeah, I think he's catching him at the right time too, dude. I mean, he's a 37-year-old featherweight. Giga's never been the most active fighter. He usually fights about once a year. And he's dependent on his striking. And I think the best comp for this fight is the Giga-Arnold Allen fight. Because if you watch what Arnold did there, dude, he pressured him the entire fight. And Giga looked good. I thought Giga actually had a pretty good performance against Arnold. I think you could even argue that maybe he won one of those 3 rounds. But he just didn't like being on the back foot. And if Kevin can make that happen, I think he's going to do the better work in the boxing here and probably win this fight by decision, because Giga's never been knocked out as a professional. He's a tough dude to get out of there.
Yep, over 2.5 minus 160. Fight goes minus 135. Vallejo's by decision plus 125. Vallejo's by submission plus 1,300.
Ooh,
there you go. I don't know. Does he have any subs? Maybe
2
couple?
wins by submission, and he got one 5 fights ago. 2 fights before he got re-invited back to Dana White's Contender Series against a very the venerable Maximiliano Perez.
There you go.
It's a scrappy guy. They're not handing out submission wins over Maximiliano Perez, my friend. So
you got that right.
Yeah,
you got that right. But yeah, I think Vallejo should get it done there. Old man Giga started losing hair at 13. Jeez. Give me Vallejo's second round KO because, as Brady said, he's getting Giga at the right time. Yeah, maybe he could, touch that chin. He did get hurt a few times against Kattar, but God, did he show a ton of toughness in that Kattar fight. Kevin is a little small and a little raw, much like my penis. Gosh.
Hey-o.
But both are loved by men.
There you go.
There you go. There you go, man. Last time Giga faced a good boxer, he lost every round. Yeah, and I've always thought Giga was overrated, to be honest, but he's won a lot more fights than I thought he would. Soon it will be time to fade Vallejo's trust. One more fight to raise the hype, and then it's time. Yep, could be, but I don't know if it's here against Giga. All right, let's move on now to the main event. Before we get into, if you guys could smash the like button for us. Let's see. Last show of the year, we are at 71 likes, which is not bad. We need 29 more to get 100, and it's not the best card. Like, I don't think a lot of people are excited for this one, but we do appreciate y'all hanging out. Everybody besides Rocket Drink, you guys have all been awesome. Appreciate you all besides, again, Rocket Drink. All right, main event time. Should we even break it down? I mean, this fight's not happening, right?
Yeah, no, we got to break it down. It's the main event of the evening, so we got to break it down.
All right, but when it gets canceled, I'll be like, oh, I told you. It's not. Oh, all right, yeah, main event. We got Brandon Royval going against Manel Kape. We got Brandon Royval, 33 years old, 5'9" with a 68-inch reach. Manel Kape, 32 years old, 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. We got Kape 1 year younger. Brandon Royval with a 4-inch height advantage and got the same reach there. Royval is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Mateus Nicolau. Decision loss to Alexander Pantoja. Decision win against Brandon Moreno. Decision win against Tyra. And a decision loss against Joshua Van. As far as Manel Kape, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against David Dvorak. Decision win against Felipe dos Santos. Decision loss to Muhammad Makayev. Knockout win against Bruno Silva. And then a knockout win against Asu Almeida. So yeah, if this fight happens, we got Manel Kape minus 280, Brandon Royval is plus 240. And yeah, kind of feels like a good matchup for Kape stylistically. Like Royval, in theory, would have a grappling advantage, but probably is not going to go to it. And if he does go to it, Kape has pretty good takedown defense, has improved that part of his game quite a bit. Royval attempted, I think, a total of 0 takedowns against Joshua Van. So he's probably not going to try to grapple here. So yeah, we probably get a fight that takes place on the feet. And when we do, Royval throws a lot of volume, but he's also very hittable. He's one of those guys that's going to eat one to give one. Kape's probably just a better striker. Kape has a lot of power. Do lean Kape to get it done. Not sure how. Royval's super tough to put away. I could see Kape maybe rocking him, dropping him. I could see maybe winning by decision. But I do like Kape here. Not necessarily at minus 300. As his line's gotten smashed. Like Kape was like minus 190 a few days ago. December 5th. I was like, what? Saturday? Friday? And now he's minus 280. So yeah, money's coming in on Kape. And yeah, I'm leaning Kape's way. What are your thoughts on this one? I think you're muted.
Yeah, I am.
You were just waiting for me to finish, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm never muted at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really good matchup for Kape. I do. I think he's a lot faster than Royval, a lot cleaner in the distance striking exchanges. He's very difficult to take down. And even if he wasn't, it's not like Royval is going to shoot takedowns. So it's going to come down to who's the better striker on the feet. And while Royval will be doing more and probably pressuring forward, I kind of feel like that's what Manel wants. When Manel kind of prefers the counter, and if you don't let him kind of go second, it might turn into a really shitty fight. Like the Nicolau fight, like the Pantoja fight, like the Mokayev fight. When Manel fights somebody with a pulse and he's not particularly confident, he can just wait for forever. And the thing is he's so good defensively that he really doesn't, he's not taking damage while he's waiting. So even when he does nothing, it's still kind of like a coin flip as to who won the fight. But Manel gets more comfortable the more aggressive his opponents are. That's what I see. The takedown defense is there. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is good if he gets taken down, but I don't think he's going to get taken down. And he's just a phenomenal athlete. I just hate him. I think I can't stand fucking watching this guy's fights because every time he's put in there against somebody that's a top 5 fighter, it winds up being one of the worst fights of the year. Mm-hmm. And I wish Manel had as much confidence in himself as he pretends to have in himself. Because the way he talks, he thinks like he can run through everybody in the world, and he talks like he's going to go out there and murder everybody. But like that Makayev fight was an abortion. That was the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. They had extra security in the cage, Brady. You remember that? There was literally a guy who was standing in front of Manel Kape with his hands extended so that he couldn't get at Makayev before the fight. These guys are pretending like they want to kill each other, and then nobody throws a strike for 15 minutes, and nothing happens. This is a fucking disgrace. And if you're going to talk like you're going to go out there and kill your opponent, at least fucking try to do it. So, I hope Royval absolutely runs through this dude. I really, 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 really hope. Because I think the biggest tragedy that could happen to the UFC is Manel Kape becoming champion. Please never let that happen. This guy's a fucking mental midget. He never shows up for fights. He botches weight cuts regularly. He throws no volume. And when he does get a finish, it's usually because he pokes somebody in the fucking eye. So, I hope Royval runs through this guy. But Manel Kape is a phenomenal talent who I hope one day is able to actually show it in a way inside the cage that's going to translate to making him, like, giving him this guy some fans. Because he's not likable. His personality, there's nothing to like about his personality. And his in-cage performances against really good fighters have been fucking pathetic.
Yeah, no, man. Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
I gotta take a big piss. Can you just keep talking crap about Manel Kape for about a minute 30?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, I can be right back.
Yeah. So we've had 3 fights, right? We've had the Nicolau fight, and Nicolau is pretty harmless, right? I mean, like, he can take you down, but he's very low volume, and he kind of tends to just circle around the outside of the cage and wait for you to make a mistake chasing him, and he lands a big shot. He lost to that guy who's now cut. The Pantoja fight, I think he might have won it. I think he might have lost it. I don't know. But once again, it was a really bad performance in terms of just not showing any confidence in his ability to land hands. And the Mokaev fight was one of the worst things that I've ever seen. His most 2 recent fights come from knockouts due to eye pokes against both Almeida and Bruno Silva. I really think that Manel, if he just had more confidence, he could be a fighter that would be likable. He could be a fighter that could put on some decent performances. But I mean, like, a 5-round Manel Kape fight, if it goes wrong, this could be one of the worst main events of all time. And he might not even show up for it, because the guy botches weight cuts regularly. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like Manel Kape. I hope he loses this fight, but the guy, I'll never say that he's not extremely talented and that he doesn't have championship like level skills, because he does. He just does. He hasn't. He's like Kennedy and Zechiku, who's less likable and who doesn't have as good of measurables, But like, you feel like if Kennedy were ever to put it together, like, that he'd be the heavyweight version of Manel Kape,
Yeah. Appreciate that. Next time I need to go do something, I'm gonna bring up Manel Kape.
Hey, Weezy, you remember that Kape Mokaev fight? And then you just get up and take like a 10-minute dump.
Yes. Oh gosh. All right, we did it, Weezy. A little bit of a shorter show tonight, but geez,
there's only 12 fights on this card. The last 8 have had 14.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna come up with a parlay. Last week we had Talbot with the under in the Iwu fight, but both pretty sweat-free legs. Let's do it again. Is there a leg that's sticking out for you here?
There were a couple of legs that were sticking out. Let me see here. So I kind of feel like Joe Anderson Brito is gonna pretty easily dispose of Bagdasarian, so I wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
And then there was also another one that I was looking at, and it was the over in the Almeida fight. Almeida Oluk Sejcek, because Almeida is so durable.
Okay.
I could see that being a leg as well, but I think I'd rather go with Brito, even though the line has gotten a little bit blown out and he's not the biggest mental guy. I just don't, I'm not a believer in Bagdasarian.
Well, we have a problem because that's the only leg that I liked is Breitu.
Well, then, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll go with that over 1.5 in the Cesar Almeida versus Oluk Sejcek fight.
All right, we can do that. Let's see. So Breitu is now minus 270. And the over in the Almeida fight is minus 160. So let's see. It comes out to plus 123 for that.
Hey, it's plus money. I don't mind it.
Breitu versus Vallejo's. Well, Vallejo's is
that would have worked too, but it wouldn't. It's the price would have been shit, right?
Yeah, that comes out to minus 117.
Yeah, so. Not even plus money. Yeah, and I would like a Breitu Vallejo's price. Even Kape. I think Kape's going to get the job done, dude. He's just so much cleaner of a striking, and the numbers on the screen, Brady, that I think make the biggest, make it the best case for Kape. Look at the distance striking numbers.
Yeah,
Royval 44% against somebody like Kape who's so precise and powerful. That's not going to work well. While Kape's got 58.5% distance striking defense.
Agreed. All right, so now we're going to do the piping of the week, and let's see. So we can go Kape. I suppose he could pipe Royval. I guess Aspen could potentially pipe Sharier, but I think the best option's got to be by far Joe Anderson Breitu.
Yeah. Do you remember when he did the poor Weston Wilson?
How could I forget?
I mean, and then I think Jack Shore retired because he couldn't walk anymore after what he did to his legs. So, yeah, I think Brito's a great onside piping this week.
Yep. I think that's the one I feel the best about there. So the onside piping of the week is Joe Anderson Breitu to pipe Melsick Bagdasarian on site. Last week we got Jalen Turner. That's what we're looking for. Joe Anderson.
That's
what we're looking for. All right, now it's time for the milking. We got to bounce back with the milking, and there's some options. You know, I mean, we could see Croden potentially milk as an underdog, at plus 113. We could see Aspen potentially milk Sean Sheriff. We could see Amosov or Magny get milked. Somebody could get milked there. Maybe just the fight ends by milking in the Amosov Magny fight.
Yeah,
because Amosov can milk him early and Magny can milk him late.
Yeah, I don't think Magny's gonna milk him late, dude. I mean, hasn't this guy Amosov went 5 rounds with Storley twice? Or was it 5 rounds or was it 3 rounds? I don't know.
He's been 5 rounds a couple times, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're stuffing takedowns from Storley in rounds 4 and 5, it's not, you're not going to gas out like Zaleski did in round 2 against Magny.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple of the guys over at VFS. Neil Magny does not train here in Chicago. He trains in Colorado, but he lives here in Chicago. And every once in a while, he'll go over there. And like those guys say that they just absolutely destroy him on the mat.
Yeah.
They laugh at him.
What?
I'm telling you, they're like, I've lost so much money on this guy betting against him over the last 2 fights. Cause what those guys are telling me is like, he's so bad. And they're telling me his chin is gone too, and they're wrong. I keep losing money, like he comes back against Zaleski, he comes back against Matthews, he comes back against Mallet. But I don't think Amosov is going to get tired. That's the thing, right? Mallet got tired, Zaleski got tired, and Matthews had an adrenaline dump because they said that he won the fight. This guy Amosov's been 5 rounds so many times. I don't think he's going to get tired. He's probably going to milk Neil.
All right. I think somebody's getting milked, but the milk of the week is Yaroslav Amosov to milk Neil Magny this Saturday. Let's do it.
Let's go. I think it's going to happen. We're fading. There's no way that Walter Walker can get 4 heel hooks in a row, and there's no way that this guy is going to get 4 wins in his last 6 fights by people gassing out. There's no way. No Magny verse on Saturday. It's going to be Amosov.
There we go. Careful with Breitu because he'd be clubless. I mean, I'm actually going to probably pick Breitu by sub. I think he has an astronomical advantage on the ground.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, he can knock him out. He could sub him. He could pipe him. He can do whatever he wants. All right. There we have it.
Live Dog's most recent comment.
This one?
Yeah.
Wheezy a couple months ago, there's no way Walker gets number of heel hooks in a row.
And it was before the Nzechiku fight and even the Sutherland fights.
Crazy.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, we did it. Last Stat Diggers of the year. Last Stat Diggers for the next 6 weeks. We will see you all in 6 weeks. Wheezy, any final thoughts for the year? Content plans for the rest of the year? Anything going on? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put out my paid content for my Odd Shopper subscribers this week. Balls deep breakdowns, maybe even on Tuesday night this week. Just get it out of the way a little bit early.
Yeah.
We work hard all year, and whether it's an up year or whether it's a down year, Brady, coming into mid-November, we're looking at that light at the end of the tunnel. We're looking for those 3 weeks off. We don't get ever back-to-back weeks off, and even in weeks off, we're kind of getting ahead for the next card. So we don't get a lot of days off. We work pretty hard all year. So I'm really looking forward to the time off, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with my family and my loved ones and my friends and having some good meals, some good laughs, some good drinks with some people, getting MMA out of my head for a little while, because this is what I do every week. This is what I do every day. And it's nice to get away from it for a little while. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to a great 2026. I think we can make Stat Diggers an even better show in 2026, and we'll talk about how to do that during the time off. And
we need a good sponsor.
We need a new sponsor, and and from there, I think things will get better too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2026. I'd like to thank everybody for all the support for all the years that we've been doing this show in the past, and looking forward to stacking cash tickets like flapjacks for all of 2026 and hopefully on the last card of 2025 as well.
Yep. I will not have much action on this card.
Yeah, me neither.
There are a couple spots that I'm going to probably hop on something tonight that I like. But yeah, not a ton sticking out. But sing us out. I will not be singing us out, but I might prepare something for later in the week. I have nothing prepared tonight. Like I said, it's been a rough last couple days. I'm exhausted. I'm about to pass out. I'm so tired. So I don't have anything prepared. So maybe later. Sing about Chestnut. What? Gonna be a nice little break. See you guys next year. I appreciate you, Cave Man. Appreciate you all again outside of Rocket Drink. Everybody else, appreciate you guys. All right. Yep. Best of luck for UFC Vegas 112. We will see you guys in 6 weeks. Enjoy the holidays. And yeah, that's it. Talk to you guys later. Peace.